Bam, we're live. Good morning. Good to see you guys. Pretty pumped about this show. Hey, I am where is it? I am not sponsored by Born Primitive, although they have been very generous in the past and they have sponsored shows in the past. But I just wanted to tell you something. I got this dress for my girl, and I didn't think she was gonna like it. And if you need it's crazy because my wife has this great body, and sometimes she can wear it. And some people, you work on your body so hard, and then you put these clothes on, and then they don't highlight the good shit. So if you have nice legs, good waist, nice ass, and great tits, and you don't want your tits down and fuck your ass up, I recommend this. They don't pay me to say that. I'm just saying it came yesterday, and she tried it on for me, and I loved it. Hi, Nick.
Oh, was I on for that? Sorry.
Yeah,
should have been paying attention.
No problem. I just got this dress for my. I just randomly got this dress for my girl from the Born Primitive site, and you never know how a dress is gonna fit someone. And you know, sometimes your wife has this insane body, and then she puts clothes on. You're like, holy fuck, what did that do to your body? And then I got her this dress.
Was it a good way or a bad way?
Well, usually I feel like a lot of women's clothes, you put them on them. I don't know if it's just CrossFit women or not, but it fucks their body up. It's like, hey, dude, like that's not like accent, like your clothes should make, like I want my clothes to make me look better clothed than naked. I got one of those bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, CrossFitters just used to not wearing clothes, so that's probably the issue.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. So anyway, so I got her that dress, and it's insane. I would dress my wife up like a tennis player all the time. I like tennis clothes. Tennis women have cool clothes, right? They get to wear those short skirts, but then they wear stuff underneath it. So like, it doesn't matter if their skirt flips up. You know what I mean? So you get
I feel like that's
the tantalizing part without the slut part. I like it.
That's the new look for the whole running era too. If you've seen all those new shorts, it's just basically underwear.
And there's actually just underwear on. Oh yeah. I don't like too much showing. I like the illusion of shit showing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, LSKD's got some that are just like basically shouldn't even wear pants at that point.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm a prude or what, but like I don't like lingerie or stripper gear or any of that stuff. I don't want my wife wearing a thong. I like tighty whities and like maybe like a wife. Like I like some shit left to the imagination.
Good pair of leggings. That's all you need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Like you could be completely covered up as long as it's tight enough. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't like too much showing. Just enough so to kick in my imagination. This morning, when I enter the studio, it's kind of weird. It's like a subconscious litmus test of like who my guest is and how I feel about them. You know what I mean? Like I don't like have any like thoughts, but I thought, oh, when I walked in today, I'm like, oh shit, today's gonna be an easy show.
It's good. Do you ever forget who's coming on? Do you ever get here in the morning and you just get surprised?
No, but I have that fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have that fear that I think Nic Johnston's coming on, and I get here and it's like the assistant to the lieutenant governor of Ohio, and I'm like, oh fuck. What am I?
Should have prepared for a little bit.
Yeah. What am I gonna ask him?
Oh man, do you actually so when you do those interviews, do you sit down and you put together questions and you do that, or do you do it off the cuff like everything else?
No, I almost every one I prepare for. There's almost every show I prepare for. Like I'll have like I have a whole page of notes with your name on. But you can over prepare and fuck your podcast up.
Yep. Instead of just we did that. So when we started ours, we had like iPad out, all these questions, all these different places we wanted to go, and we figured out just as you have, like the more you just let things flow and kind of just talk from what you're feeling at the time, it usually comes out better that way.
See, guys, listen, if you're ever going to be a guest on a podcast, that's what you do. You see what he just did? Like I say something and then he empathizes with it and he runs it through his filter and then he goes. And that way we talk back and forth, and it's not like I'm fucking cross-examining you on the stand.
We're gonna work with Ricky. Don't worry. That's going to be next year.
Hey, you think? But the good thing about Ricky though is he's a good sport about it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And
Yeah.
he doesn't care. Like you're going to get the same thing no matter what, and he's going to love it either way.
Yeah, taking the piss out of him for how hard it is to interview him is like just become part of the shtick. Hey, they got wasted. Was that Sunday night?
Sunday, yeah. So the weekend we got back, yeah, Sunday night. Or no, I think it was like a Thursday or Friday night. It was during the week.
That video you sent me of Jay on his shoulders. Do you get nervous? That made me really uncomfortable. Like, you know what I mean? Like a little kid holding a Ming Dynasty vase. I'm like, oh shit, what if he drops Jay? Like, don't break Jay. Do you know what I mean? We need Jay next year. I get so nervous.
If you would have seen 5 seconds before that, he almost fell off that thing he was sitting on backwards. So it got way worse than what you saw. He was doing backflips in the middle of the street. Yeah, we had to shut that down. Michelle's good about that. Michelle said, Ricky, you settle down, no more drinks for you, and then took him home.
Michelle's his chick?
Yeah, his fiance.
And you were home already in Nashville?
Yeah, that was on Broadway. So we took them out, and that was the first time Michelle and Ricky had seen Broadway. So it was a cool experience.
I actually thought about, oh shit, where's my sorry, you had to see me in my underwear. I thought about warning you before I asked you this question because this one could go horribly wrong. Let's write down. I'm gonna write down all the proven athletes, individuals who are at the games.
Yep. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. Go slow because I'm gonna write them. Oh, Tia. Okay. Yeah, she's the winner girl. She's like the chick that can't be beat. I know her.
Yep. So we got in the women's side, it would be Tia, Olivia, Maddie. Christina.
Oh, that's the Levaticus, the new girl.
Yep.
Is she new? Is she new? I mean, she's new to me in my understanding of her with Proven.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool because she qualified. She's from Australia, but she is from originally Africa. So she qualified out of Africa. And she reached out to us after semifinals and was like, hey, didn't think I was going to make the games. I did. I want to take this thing kind of the next level. So she actually came out to Nashville for a good 5-6 weeks, and she grew a lot during that time, which was cool.
Christina Leviticus.
I don't even know how to say it, to be quite honest with you.
Okay. I think
Leviticus, I think it is.
Okay. Is Leviticus something from the Bible? Do you know Bible?
That's the Bible.
Yeah. Okay, let's just go with it. That's nice. It's kind of a compliment.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And then Gracie would be the
Oh,
the
yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And then I think that's all of our. Oh, and Lucy McGonigal.
Oh, yeah. See, this is a dangerous game. Someone as wonderful as Lucy almost got left off the list.
So that puts us as 5.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
six,
guys.
6. That's 6.
6.
Crazy.
And then we've got Ricky, Jay, Colton.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Ibarra.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Isaac Newman.
Oh, what's his deal? What is he? He's Australian?
Yeah, so he's from Perth, where one of our main media guys is from, and they go to the same gym, so we got connected with him.
I heard I heard he went to the games and was like, oh shit. Okay, like it was an eye opener for him a little bit. I mean, he looks like a man child. He looks physically capable of anything. But someone was saying that they were talking to him and he was like, oh shit, I didn't really know.
Yeah, so I think he felt that in when he came to Nashville at HQ. He even
for prep.
Yeah, man, he got here and Joey is his coach, and he would be texting Joey, and we actually had a debrief yesterday with all our coaches. He's like, he was pretty worried. He thought he needed to go home just of like how intense it was, how crazy it was to be around all those people. And he probably grew the most out of any of our athletes over the 6 weeks that he was here. Because he was, one, he probably bought in the most, but 2, he just kind of got vulnerable and he asked questions and he said, hey, I feel like there's a day where he's like, I feel like I suck. Like I can't keep up with anybody. I'm getting beat and everything. Like, what do I do? And I think seeing Shane in those moments is those moments you realize why Shane's such a good coach, because he's tough on him, but he also makes him realize like, hey man, if you were at home right now and you were doing this, you would be half-assing everything you're doing. You wouldn't know what people around you are doing, but look where you're at now and look at how far you've come just in a couple weeks. And that lights a fire under anybody at that point, and it just kept him going. And his body hurt and he was beat up and things like that, but he learned so much in those 6 weeks that he actually, and hopefully he doesn't mind me sharing this, he had told Joey that, hey, I think this is going to be it for me. I think I'm going to be a one and done. Like, he's 26, 27. I think I'm just going to go to the games, enjoy it, and then probably just do it for fun after that. And now afterwards, after he had his experience at the games, he said, I'm more fired up than I've ever been. I want to come back to Nashville way more next year. And I want to dig into this thing because I think there's a lot of meat on the bone that I can get after there.
Hey, there's no shame in that. It's interesting. He had that in training at Proven, but the algebra makes sense. Every athlete that I've had on since the games, and I've had a lot of the big names on, people who did well, I've asked them, hey, when you were at the games, was there ever a point when you just wanted to run out to your car and drive home? And the only one who said no, basically, I'm paraphrasing, was Ricky. But everyone else was like, oh, even Jason, Colton, James, Jay. It's like, yeah, there's moments where you're just like, what the fuck? I'm done. And then, but the algebra, why it makes sense is all the boys and girls have been saying, dude, the training at Proven, and a lot of people say this, but I actually believe the Proven athletes, they're like, the training at Proven was harder than the games.
Yeah, especially this year, because I mean, we typically have volume during games training that's ready for 4 to 5 days of competition. So this year, with only 3 days, these guys walked out on Monday feeling like they could have gone for 4 or 5 more events, which is really good and exactly where we want them to be. And this year it was so hot outside that the element of the heat just plays into it so much more too, to where once we got to Albany and the humidity was down, it was a little bit cooler, and you're inside in air conditioning, you feel like a completely different animal. Like those guys on event one, like Ricky ran close to 25 second per kilometer faster there than he did in training here. And he worked hard
Wow.
here. It's not like he was laying off, but everybody was so much faster. And to see Lucy, like her worst skill ever is running, to get a top 20 on that when she thought she was going to be vying for a last place finish. It was really cool because everybody did better than what they did in training.
Let me ask you about the Ricky thing, because I got into an argument with the boys yesterday, which I won, but they'll never concede to it on the update show. When you say Ricky did 25 seconds faster on the kilometer, are you referencing specifically workout one?
Yeah. So his running pace specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. Win. Sevi, win. That's a win. That's awesome. Because
What was your argument?
I was basically saying that in general, the general wisdom is you show up to an event, and because of the pressure at the event, you do better than you did in training. And they fell into the weeds, and they're like, hey, that's true for the most part, but not on run courses, because the run course at Albany had a little bit of a hill in it. Not even a little bit, it had hills in it. They tried to tell me it had hills in it, and they tried to be like, so it's different. You can't do that in the running one. And I was just like, hey, you're splitting hairs. I'm fucking right. And then what you just said right there proves my point. He ran
Yeah, I think
faster by 25 seconds a kilometer
he was
at the
4 to
event.
4:05 here in training. And
Yeah.
I think when he was running with Jeff, they were at a 343, lower high 335s and low 340s.
Yeah. I got ass pounded for that. You should have seen it last night. We did a CrossFit Games Up show. It was me against John was pretty cool, but me just fighting Bryson and Taylor and 300 people in the chat, calling me a retard and telling me I have a learning disability. And it was insane. It was insane.
Well, I think like for us, we want to put people in positions that it's so much harder in what they're doing in prep, to where those wins come up much easier there. Like here, we made our run course really hard. Like there's a great hill going up, hill coming down, another hill going up, coming down. It goes around about 5 turns. So there it's always going to be slower than just the course that would be in Albany.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you guys. So the proven people aren't stupid. There you go. There you go. Nic, do you coach or just manage the coaches? Or
So
neither? You don't even have to do that or game. Yeah.
Yeah, technically I coach at the games and at a semifinal or whatever, just because we have so many athletes, and that's my background. That's what I did when I got into all this space, and what I always wanted to be was just a coach. I think as I've moved into the business role, I don't coach day to day. I don't program. So I'm just overseeing all those guys, which is awesome as well. But I like Jay. I'm always on Jay's coaches pass, which is great, and helping Maddie, and this year with Ricky, which is really fun.
Okay, so you are the CEO of Proven, but you do wear a coach's hat at times, and the athletes are okay and appreciate you, and the other coaches appreciate you at events like this, putting on the coach's hat a little bit.
Yeah, I think because that's where I came from, and like when I started, I was just a coach with Proven before this even came about. So that's my background. Like I would say my better skill, anyways, is just being an on-site game day guy. I would say the programming is our guys are the best of the best, and they do a great job in that. So I don't even want any part of it. But going to events with them, I think being there for our guys and having like one coach for every single athlete to where they can lean on them at events, that's really important to us.
They were making a general point. Excuse me. Sorry, I have to do this for you. No, you fucking idiot. I was making the fucking general point, and they were trying to act like there's some fucking nuance in the fucking running, and there isn't. Or maybe there is. It didn't matter. It was just fucking for the sake of argument. No, I was making the general point. Jackass. Back
And
to
before I forget, we had one more athlete I didn't add to that
yes,
list.
I won't let you forget.
Callie and Souza.
Oh, man. Hey, is he as cool as he like presents?
Yeah.
All smiley and positive and
Yeah, he's a guy that we've had for like 3 years, and this is the first time he's ever been able to come train with us in person. And we knew like he's one of the nicest, like most positive humans you'll ever meet. But to have him here in person and have him in the group where like he actually came in on the tail end of everybody's training. So that's when everybody starts getting a little down. Everything starts getting a little more quiet because volume's pretty high. To have him just kind of interject himself as a positive vibe, it was awesome to have him because he did a really great job that way.
I don't remember if it was last year or the year before. I think it was last year. I remember talking to him at registration, and then also again at the end of the games and the behind the scenes. And he had a really good head on his shoulders too. He knows that his job is to come to the games and get better every year and place higher.
Yeah, and he has, which is crazy. Like I think he did the math the other day, and it was like in the 30s, like 32, 22, and now 14. So like, and he's only 24 years old, and he's a specimen. Like the kid he's a freak. He's got some big holes, obviously, just based on how big he is. But every year he just keeps getting better, which is awesome.
We were looking at his measurements, and it said he was 6 feet tall, a little over 6 feet. He presents like he's 6'4". I would have guessed he's the biggest athlete out there.
I think he's the tallest guy in the field. Yeah.
Okay, like so he's taller than 6 foot.
6 foot. Yeah.
Okay.
If you stand next to him, he kind of feels like Brent. Like he feels like he's a wide, tall guy. That's probably yeah.
Huge shoulders, long arms, tiny waist.
Yeah. That was the first time a lot of our guys had seen him in person outside of the games, and he walked in and everybody kind of flipped their heads over just because he's a big boy. Like it's crazy to see in person.
Oh, he's Brazilian?
Yes, yeah. So, okay. But he lives in Dubai, so he coaches and he works at a gym in Dubai, but he's from Brazil.
Yeah, I think I interviewed him. Is he housemates with Calum? Who is his housemate?
The guy that he was there last year at the games.
That's not Calum Clements?
No.
And this dude he housemates with is a big dude also. I remember they came in. I'm Bruno. Like, these guys are freaks.
His name is Bruno. I can't remember his last name.
Okay. But he was a big dude also.
Yeah, and both of them had qualified together out of Brazil. So they traveled together from Dubai to Brazil. They both qualified, and it was pretty cool for them.
Tiny waist, thick legs, in shape. I don't really, but his legs could be thicker. He's big, but he's svelte. Like you said, he's got a lot of Brent. Like when you turn him sideways, he's more like a saltwater fish. When he's you know what I mean? When he's coming at you. Yeah.
He looks more just because his upper body is so big. I think that probably throws it off a little bit. But yeah, there you
go. Bruno Marins, thank you. Get with the programming.
It was pretty crazy this year. I don't know if you followed it, but because him and Jay went 1 and 2 in the grip workout, the running, deadlift, and handstand walk. And they posted that on one of the CrossFit Games posts. And the amount of people from Brazil that spam those posts in like a great way is insane. Like the amount of Brazilian flags they threw on there for him and the amount of support those athletes get is pretty crazy.
Yeah. That was the workout that was the running, the handstand walk, and all the 60 deadlifts, right?
Yep.
What was the weight on that deadlift? 305 or 3? 50?
55, 355, I think, with the axle bar.
Yeah, crazy. Do you know going into that, does everyone at Proven who's trained kind of chuckle and know, "Oh, Jay's gonna win this?"
Yeah. In testing, we knew immediately that he would win that for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The two, the two surprises in that, honestly, were Tia. Hats off to Lucy because that was awesome, and Haley, obviously. We thought Tia would win that one. I think the extra handstand walking obviously played a big factor in that, but the bigger surprise was Ricky. When Ricky tested that workout, we thought that was going to be a 25th place. Like it went really bad. And he pulled out, I think it was an eighth or a ninth on the day of, and it was awesome to watch because he needed that pretty badly.
What was his issue in training? Which movement? The handstand walk? Is that where people were
No, no, I
passing?
think it
No?
was just the deadlifts of that day, and obviously with the amount of volume that was going on, it could have been a factor of anything. He just had a poor workout that day, which you don't put too much stock into it. Um, we kind of, I would say, we always say, hey, if you have a bad workout in games training, you're probably looking at 5 places better at the, if it's a bad placing, 5 places better at the games. But he outperformed himself massively on that from training, which was cool. And Jay did the same thing on the event too with the dumbbell and crossovers. And I think he talked about that yesterday of how he just kept getting better and better every time he tested it. And then the day of, he got second or third.
You know, when we were reviewing that, I was telling the boys in the discussions before the games, I said, "Hey, man, that 100 pounds is going to be a problem for people," and they're like, "No, not a problem at all." And now I've had 3 athletes on who are like, "Yeah, that fucking thing was a problem in training,"
Yeah,
and
in
even
training,
Jay said it was a
100%.
serious problem in training.
Yeah, there's people failing in training for sure. And then I couldn't believe it. Shane said the same, like how easy it looked on game day.
That's adrenaline. That's pressure.
It's
That's
just being deloaded too. Like they were just so
oh,
beat up during games training to where everything is going to be heavy at that weight. And I think the adrenaline coming off the wall walks, you feel a lot worse in training than you do in the game day. And the biggest thing too is the floor is so long. Like back here at HQ, we've only got 50 feet of floor, so it means your transitions are going to be faster anyways, which means you just have to get to movements faster. And when you're coming down 100, 120-foot floor, you've got more rest built in anyways, to where that probably helped him.
uh, um. Back in the day, the first time there was a 100-pound dumbbell, I'm thinking it's in a semifinal, but I don't remember. But I remember Jason Kalipa saying he saw the programming and he's like, "Oh, I just can't do that."
I think it
Right?
was that big chipper, right? It was at regionals to where they had a crazy, like 100 of everything or something, to where they had to do snatches with it.
Yeah. That was a great photo op too, by the way. The men and women look insane as they pull the 100-pound dumbbell. Their arms and their faces and
Yeah.
just everything just blows up. It's an amazing photo op. But I don't think a lot has changed. There's been a ton of evolution in the sport, but I think a 100-pound dumbbell is still heavy as shit.
Oh,
Like
100%. I think it's
yeah.
cool to see when they did the triple G chippers, the first time they did the shoulder overhead with it. And that was when Ricky was there. Um,
Was that at the
when he
games?
got,
That was at the games?
yeah, so that would have been whatever year Ricky popped. So it would be when he got third. And there was a clip of it that they posted of Ricky, and it looked really hard, to be quite fair. And now it's nothing for Ricky, which is pretty cool to see the difference there.
Look at these finishes in that workout for the proven camp. This is for the grip and rip. You got Tia in third, Kerstetter in fourth, Gracie Walton in fifth.
Yeah, that
And
was one we
it's
did,
a
I
pretty
think,
cool
three
workout.
times. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did it 3 times at the gym, I believe.
Yeah, Jay said it was Jay talked about that yesterday. He said it was unsettling in training. In that workout also, from the fans' perspective where we were, and I got a seat right at the barrier, right in front of Tia. It looked like Tia at one point made a crazy push
And we're
to,
talking about the deadlift workout, right?
yeah, the Albany
Yeah.
grip and rip, rip and grip. Yeah, the deadlift one. Look, we were just basic. Like I could have reached out and touched either Tia or Lucy. That's how close we
Yeah.
were. And
Yeah.
at one point, it looked like Tia really put the hammer down, and Lucy didn't let her get away.
I was shocked, and like in a good way for Lucy, of how well she ran, because typically we would have thought Tia would have just made it back on the run every time, but Lucy held the run really well, which was interesting. And I think that plays a lot on being on a runner, just quite fair. Like when it comes
Yeah.
to your physiological output of being taller or being heavier, it just helps on a runner. But that takes nothing away from what Lucy did because she had a great workout, and to be able to go unbroken on the deadlifts, that helped her a ton on that workout.
Yeah, and those her deadlifts look crazy. Her last 5, I mean, she was doing the Sam Briggs. It was crazy.
Yeah.
She was like she was like Plastic Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Typically, like you see somebody deadlifting like that, even in round 2 and 3, you're like they're gonna break eventually. But it was impressive that she held on.
Is that a double-edged sword for Tia? Like on one hand, she doesn't want anyone ever to beat her so she can stay in their head, but also she appreciates the competition and the motivation?
I think if you asked her now, she would appreciate it, but in the moment, it pisses her off more than anything in the world. Like just to lose in anything, like even to lose in the gym, like if Ricky beats her in something, Jay beats her in something, it's not good. That's just how competitive she is in everything that she does.
Has she been like that always, or is it more and more always?
Yeah, she's been ever since I've known her. It's been the exact same. She hasn't changed in that way. I think over the years she's not let it affect her mood as much when it comes to training because now that we have a bigger camp, like you can't have an ego in a way that you're throwing a fit or you're making the mood of the room go down just because you had a bad workout, to where before when we were kind of all doing individual things, you could see her wear her emotions a little bit more in training, which isn't a bad thing. I just think she's a little more cognizant of that now, being a leader and kind of being in that athlete slash coach role and kind of helping our other athletes get better as they come in here.
Is this a true statement? Tia was a lone wolf for victories 3 through 7, and now victory 8, she's not a lone wolf. Oh, and if so, what happened? Why is she allowing other people into her den?
It's a good question. Her last, so it would be her 6th. I would say she's very much was not a lone wolf, right? We had Jay, Maddie, we had a really good crew. That was probably the first year where it was more of a team effort than anything.
Okay.
Before that, when she was with our first athletes over at East Nashville in the old gym, it felt like everybody was just individual lone wolves for sure. Like it was just everybody came in, they did their thing, they knew what they had to do, and there really wasn't any cohesion when it came to people training together, which I think was not a detriment to them, but they left some on the table by not being able to kind of push each other in that way. We still had a team environment, right? Like they still did workouts together, but I would say over the last couple of years, it's a night and day difference with how Tia interacts and trains with those around her in the training facility here.
Yeah, the just sort of, the narrative in the outside is that Tia has acquired so much knowledge and wisdom and secrets and tips and experience, and she wants to keep it to herself. Rightfully so. A lot of the top athletes do, obviously, and now she is sharing that, not only by letting people witness it, but she's actually verbalizing it and sharing it. Do you think is that a conscious decision of hers, or what is going on with that?
Yeah,
And
when
I don't
I
even know if that's accurate, by the way. I'm just telling you kind
yeah.
of what the
No, I would
perception
say
is from this from
she
the
would tell
outside.
you that exact same thing. I think they were very closed off early on, even from media, because they knew they had something different than everybody else that they wanted to keep to themselves because they knew how well it worked. I think even if you go back and look at when Shane was coaching Matt with Tia, there's nothing out there that ever showed what they were doing, right? Like there'd be some pictures and some photos and things like that, but there was never behind the scenes like we're putting out now. And when I came into this position, that was one of the first conversations we had of like, you guys have to at some point show the world, one, how great of people you are, because I think we've got to know them a lot more as people over the last couple of years, but two, what great brains you have when it comes to being a coach and an athlete out on the floor. Because what we've been able to see is the more that we see the back end of that and seeing them not give away secrets, but show more of the insight and how their brains work, we realize how intelligent they are and how smart they are and what they do, and everything's done for a reason. And it feels like back let's say 3 or 4 years ago, a lot of people just chalked it up to having great genetics or talent, and they were just, gifted with something that they were just running with. And I remember a couple of years ago, people just kept saying like, "Ah, man, Shane's really never done anything right. Like Tia is who she is, and he's just kind of there for the ride." And I think now people see a lot more behind the curtain, and then to see kind of how his brain works and how he's been the catalyst for literally everything that's happened within her career, our career, the Proven brand in general. It's pretty cool to see because they've opened up more that way.
Do you think anyone else could coach Tia?
No,
No. I brought that up on the show yesterday. We were all like, no.
because there's such a trust there to where I think you asked me this on the podcast a couple weeks ago. Tia doesn't, there's never even a conversation. There's the workouts that are given and she does them. Like the programming is there. She fully trusts in it no matter what, and she gets it done. To where I don't think she could ever give that amount of trust to anyone else, knowing what she knows at this point and being as smart as she is, because there's just nobody that's been through that whole life cycle of her career. And that's what makes it a little bit different.
Sorry, I'm gonna ask you some loaded questions that you might not know that I'm trying to manipulate you. I apologize in advance. Brace yourself. Did Shane program for Matt and Tia when they were training together?
Yeah, 100%. Yep, the years that they were in Cookville, yeah.
100%. And yep. And then in how many years did he do that?
I don't want to say, I wouldn't know for a fact. It was before me, but I believe 2. It was definitely the year that Matt retired when they were at the ranch, right? So the COVID year, because they had done that all together in that prep. I believe it was the year before, but don't quote me on
that. Okay, so Nick, do you give Shane credit for Matt's last CrossFit Games win? Let me be clear, not credit as if Matt didn't do all the hard work
100%.
and the training and the commitment, but as a participant, does he get that on his resume? Coached Matt Fraser event games, fittest man on earth, year 5.
Yeah, I think you look at Tia and Matt in a way where they are much smarter athletes than the majority of athletes we've ever seen. I put Rich in that boat as well, to where you have to start looking at why would Matt make a change to go to this coach if he wasn't actually helping him a way to make his career better, right? So I think that's all you have to ask there.
Right.
There was nothing at that point from a brand standpoint that could have helped Matt because there was no brand, right? So literally Matt is reaching out to Shane. Hey, I need help and I want my career to elevate in a way that even though I've won X amount of titles already, I think you can help me, because he's seen the back end and what happens behind the scenes. So I would say 100%, like he helped him through that the whole time. Matt is who Matt is. I don't know Matt well, and maybe he would say differently because of the scenarios we're in as competitors in business at this point, but I have no idea. But if you asked Matt in 2017, whatever it was in 2018, I think he would say the exact same
thing. When he was with Ben Bergeron, and I don't know if this is true, and he left, it was a fight over the story on the street is that it was a fight over IP, intellectual property. That basically he didn't like the way Ben was sharing stories, Matt's stories that Matt felt were his stories, even though Ben was part of them. Matt saw them as his. And I promise this will be my last question. I'll try to promise about it. Is that the separation? Did that same thing happen? The word on the street is that Shane and Tia separated because Shane did not like Matt using Shane's content, Shane's hard work in order as his own. Was it kind of the same thing?
It's been, honestly, to be completely transparent with you, that's been like a subject that I don't even ask them about. And we never really have. Like Shane will talk about him as an athlete, but we've never even broached when it comes to the personal side of their relationship because it just doesn't matter. And I wouldn't even, because I wasn't around, I really have no idea.
Okay. Tell me about so by the way, so that's Tia, Olivia, Maddie Sturt, Christina Leviticus, Rocky Takis, Gracie Walton, Lucy McGonigal, 6 women, then Ricky Mack, Jay Crouch, Colton Mertens, Chris Ibarra, Isaac Newman, and Kaylin Souza. That's 12, 6 and 6. Is that on purpose? 6 is the magic number? No, okay.
No, I wish we would have had what was that, 12? I wish we would have had Sydney. I wish we had Caroline. I wish we had Bailey Martin. I wish we had
Right.
Kyra. That was 4 more people that we were planning on being at the games, and we
Yeah.
didn't get it done this year. So no, that definitely wasn't on purpose.
Can Caroline Stanley make it to the games?
Yeah, she got hit pretty hard. Like, she qualified online this year, and then she got hit with a penalty, and that kicked her out. So that was devastating for us. Like, I would say if there's one major regret for the season, like letting that happen on our watch, was it hurts because she earned her way there and the fitness was there, and this is the fittest she's ever been, and she's worked with our coaches in a way that all we've asked for from her this year, and she's done everything she should have, and the cards just didn't fall her way, which is really tough, but she's more than fit enough to be there.
Is she a good runner? I've seen her in running events absolutely destroy, and then other running events I feel like I've seen her bomb. So I can't figure out if she's a good runner or not.
It's an interesting one because we can't figure it out either. If there is
okay, good. That makes me happy.
No, yeah, it's like an anomaly for her because you give her a 5K for time. She's probably coming middle third of the pack there. You give her the semifinals workout that was 800-meter runs and a barbell. She comes top 3 in the hardest semifinal at Syndicate ever. You know what I mean? That's when Tia and Danielle and Brooke were all there, and she absolutely smashed it. So I think with an elevated heart rate, when you're mixed modal with a barbell or any kind of CrossFit style workout that has running in it, she does very well.
Just like the man-child himself, Colton Mertens. Right?
Their personalities are very similar, but they're also very similar athletes when it comes to a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, fantastic at the 800-meter with the runs and the heavy barbell. Fantastic, insane pacing, trust in himself. She is. I got to get her on the show. I love Caroline Stanley.
She's one of my favorite people, man. She is awesome. She's one of the best people you ever meet. She's got a cool story. Like, she's a vet back home, so she does that full time and still trains. And she comes and sees us quite a bit, which is great. And we've built a really good relationship with her over the last couple of years.
She was on the demo team, and she's wonderful. Great sense of humor. Dave was just poking at her the whole week, and she just takes it like a champ. I mean,
she'll give it back too.
Yeah, she's an absolutely wonderful human being. It's crazy because I always admired her from afar, and then because I was with Dave at the games the whole time, I got to hang out with her, and like she didn't disappoint at all. She lived up to all the coolness, and she kicked ass on the demo team. She was the savage on the demo team.
Yeah, she's the one we knew. Like, on the demo team, she would be asking to do every single workout, and then probably going to do her own workouts afterwards too.
Yeah, her and Nate. That kid Nate's a freak.
I'm really impressed with him. I didn't know much about him at all, and obviously Keeper has talked to him in the past just from a friendly level. But he's told me, he's like, hey, you got to watch out for this Nate kid. He's very talented. He's going to be a force for sure. And we saw him out at NorCal this year because I was out there, which was really cool to see for the first time in person. And then even just to see him on the demo team, he's got a bright future.
He's like a human spring. I mean, even though he's so thick, he's like crazy athletic. Tell me about Kerstetter being there. What are your thoughts? And I'm also curious what Tia's thoughts are about Kerstetter. She took third. She showed up looking absolutely amazing. Does Tia have like plans for her, or is she like, we joke around that I don't remember who said it, but someone said, hey, Tia has Kerstetter in the camp for her litmus test on when to retire.
Yeah, that was Andrew Hiller.
Andrew said that. Yeah, that's kind of a brilliant kind of
it's a wild take.
But it's kind of cool, right? I mean, it's a compliment to both of them.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, hey, Tia's preparing her protege, and at the same time using it as a to evaluate her own status.
Yeah, and I won't say that. But there is no plans that way, right? Like, we give the same amount of attention to every single athlete that comes in here, and we let them do what their fitness is going to do and what their mental capacity is going to do. And we hope it gets to where they feel confident enough to go out there and just compete freely like Olivia did all weekend. And that was the product of that, which is very cool. I would say if you asked any of our coaches, we're not going to sit here and lie and say we had Olivia picked to be on the podium. But we know Olivia is as dangerous as anyone when it comes to the ability to win events. She has home runs for days. But I would say if you were going to ask me when she would be on the podium, I'd give it a few more years. But she is somebody just like Lucy McGonigal that we know in 3 to 5 years, those two are going to be battling out for the top spot for a while.
Um, she always seems to have a good head on her shoulders,
Yeah.
and she showed up looking leaner than we've ever seen her in competition. She addressed it. It's funny because she addressed it as, I don't know what happened. I guess just my baby fat left my body. But then she also slipped in there. She got a nutritionist. And I mean, you know, she looked like a shiny Ferrari when she showed up this year. It was like if you didn't think, oh shit, something's going on, uh, you were missing the boat. And then her potential, right? She's not even close to her potential. That's the scary part about Kerstetter.
Yeah, I think that's been our number one goal with her, and I would say Lucy now as well, is we want to just let their bodies do what they need to do. There's zero reason for us to put pressure on them in any way to look a certain way or perform even at a certain level until they really want to dig into this as a career. Because I would say over the last couple of years, even with Olivia, it's like, hey, you need to have some fun while you're doing this, and you need to be able to enjoy it, or you're never going to have a future in it. Because we've seen so many scenarios like Mal and like Emma, Carrie, and all these scenarios with young girls to where they feel the pressure from the people that are around them in a negative way that they just break under it. And it's a scary thing to have the responsibility of when you're dealing with kids that age. But we decided like that's something that we never want to happen in our camp. And if that means maybe they're not going for their true elite potential in their training every single day for 12 months out of the year, that's okay when they're this young. But what we found is having that freedom and having fun in their training is leading to better performances overall. Because I would say Lucy being 11th in your first year as a 17-year-old at the games, unheard of. Olivia being on the podium as a 19-year-old, unheard of. So to see what those two have been able to do and kind of the guidance that our coaches and specifically Shay and Tia and what they've been able to do with them just in a year or two has been pretty crazy.
She's only 19.
Yeah.
Is she the youngest person, Nick, to ever be on the podium?
We talked about that. Well, no, wouldn't Mal be? How old was Mal when she was on the podium?
I don't know.
Maybe they might be the same. They both might have been 19.
Holy shit. Hey, it's interesting you say that. My kids really want to work hard, and I try really hard not to push them. I just try to make tons of space for them to come into and train. And they're in the jiu-jitsu scene, and already there's kids who are cutting weight before tournaments at 8, 9, 10 years old. And I wouldn't even broach that subject with my kids. Like I wouldn't even consider I don't want to add any element of not fun to it that's outside of their own I don't know if volition is the right word, but of their own idea. Like I would never right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's so easy for parents of teenagers who are in any sport to want to kind of put their own will and imposition on their goals that they may not have been able to achieve in their own careers on their kids.
Yeah.
And we see that all the time. Like we have other teen athletes that we've gone through in the past to where the parents just get in the way and it's really hard to see because it just makes the kids not enjoy what they're doing. And I would say the two outliers in that scenario are definitely Lucy and Olivia when it comes to their parents are just the best people ever for them in this scenario. I would say if Olivia and Lucy wanted to quit CrossFit tomorrow, both of their parents would be like, hey, awesome. Let's go figure out what you want to do next. We'll support you in what you want to do. But there's no reason you need to do something that you're not enjoying. Maybe take some time off or maybe, just quit altogether and find something else that you at least love. Because I think they're at an age to where they can at least go do whatever they want in life. They're not stuck in what they're doing. They can go back to college. They can go get a degree and then figure it out from there.
Is it as simple as this? If someone wants a body composition change, they need to come up with the idea themselves as opposed to their swim coach saying, hey man, you're fat. Or you know what I mean? Because I say swim coach because that's a story I hear over and over. I hear girls telling that story that my swim coach said something to me. You want someone, that's the kind of thing someone needs to come up with on their own.
At a young age like that, 100%. I think it's even more so like they're just growing into their bodies, right? So I think Olivia just needs to do what she needs to do to feel recovered, to feel
Yeah,
healthy, to feel like she's performing better. And it's
right.
going to work itself out because she's at a point where she trains enough and the volume is high enough to where she's just going to naturally fit into what she's going to fit into when it comes to a body composition. And there's no reason to kind of push on that. Where I would say if you're looking at a 25 to 29-year-old that may have been lean before, performed really well, put on some body weight they're not doing as well. That's the conversation you can kind of start having because they're at that point in their career to where it may be a detriment to them, but they're mature enough, or they should be mature enough at that point and trust their coaches that that conversation isn't a hard one to have.
Yeah, and I guess as you get closer to the end of your career too, it can be couched as like, hey, as you get older, nutrition's more important than ever.
Yep. Yep. And that's from just a recovery standpoint, right? And sleep and hydration and everything you go through, your body just doesn't optimize as well when you do those things. Like we all remember when we were in college and you could go out and stay up all night and you'd feel fine in the morning. If you try to do that now, you're out for a whole day and a half and working out feels hard and your body hurts. And it's just the nature of how our bodies work at the end of the day.
I don't know what I'm about to tell you. I don't know is true, but this is the story I'm telling myself. You had this phenom show up on the scene, Haley Adams. She goes with this insane training camp, mayhem with just insane lineage, great hard workers, great positive vibes, and she's basically training and doing very well at a young age, but she's just not taking in enough calories. And her training is skewed to keep a certain kind of look that she sees in the mirror as opposed to performance. Then she takes a year off and she comes back and she looks better than ever. Like she looks like she's fucking eating. She's glowing. She seems happier than ever. Her speech when you interview her isn't restricted. She's like transformed. And then she shows up at the games and doesn't have a Haley Adams year. Like we know Haley Adams is a world class. My feeling is let me see if I can see where she placed here. Uh where is she? 19th, right? My feeling is that she basically got a new body this year, and you can't critique her on this performance because she's going to need like a year or two to grow into it.
Yeah, we saw her. I would say the first time we noticed that was at Rogue last year, and I would
Yes.
say Taylor and I are really close with Haley. We lived with her in Cookville a little bit while Taylor was competing there, so we got a good relationship with her. And she just looked awesome. Like she looked
Yeah,
happy.
she looks
She was
so much
acting
better.
happy.
Yes.
She looked healthy, which was awesome. And I think in that moment, she was a little frustrated, right? Because all the things she used to be really good at weren't as good, but she did take positives out of it because she was getting a little bit stronger. She did better on some of the workouts she may have used to struggle with. And I think you give her another year of, like you said, in her new body of figuring things out and being happy in what she's doing and finding a path forward that is good for her. She's going to be right where she wants to be. And, maybe at this point, happier means she doesn't want to push to be on top of the podium anymore. And I don't want to speak for her in that way. But whatever is going to make that girl happy at the end of the day and give her fulfillment in what she's doing every day, that's what I'm on board for. Because the Haley now that I see and I see at competitions is like a different person and one that I love seeing around. And it makes me just super happy from seeing what she was like when we knew her in the past and kind of just the struggle she was going through.
Yeah, she was a guarded human. She was like a Venus flytrap that was closed, or a flower that was closed so tight. And now, like when I have her on the podcast, she's like open and glowing, and it's like, holy shit, she must feel so free. Hey, I guess another part is too is she could just tell herself that during this time of training too, that hey, my placement isn't as important, and then 2 or 3 years down the road, she can, as she tweaks things, she can get that.
I think she's still at such a young age where it's just a longevity thing. Like you don't have to peak your very first year of kind of recomping everything you're doing. Like look years down the road, and if you can just be consistent and stay healthy, you're probably going to be right back where you want to be. Because we're finding out at the games level, it's just about consistency. The more you can show up and just have a good camp running and do it, make your moves when you're there. Like it's all going to work out pretty well for you as long as you're consistent.
I think I heard her say this was her 9th games, and it would have been her 10th if she wouldn't have taken a year off, and she's only 24. Crazy. This guy, Tiago Luzes, if he took 30th at the CrossFit Games in the men division. If Tia would have entered the men's division, He had 138 points. We guessed that Tia would finish the men's division with 120 points. Do you think he beats her? Did you think she beats him?
Yeah. No, I still
No.
there's just from a weight stand, and we're talking the same weights, right?
Right. Just
Yeah,
enter the men's division. Can Tia finish higher than last?
No. No, because I mean, you look at a 1-rep back squat, she takes dead last in. The 100-pound shoulder overhead, I don't think she overcomes that. Like that.
Yeah, that was a big debate with us too. Like some of the team was thinking she could overcome it. I don't know.
Not enough to beat anyone, I don't think. And I don't know his placings, and I didn't watch him throughout the weekend, so I'm not sure.
Last. Just think last on everything.
Okay. But even like a 355 axle bar deadlift, there's no way. Like that's doing singles at that point, and I don't want to talk down on her because I know she thinks she could probably go out there and beat a few guys, but I think realistically, like there's still such a division when it comes to the amount of weight on the bar and even the clean workout. Like she's not going out and cleaning those bars at the very end of the pegboard workout.
You know, did you ever see that interview? Serena Williams was on like some late night show, like, I don't know, Johnny Carson, or I don't fucking know who was the host then, but they asked her, they said, "Hey, can you beat men in tennis? And can you beat like the best man in the world in tennis?" And she goes, "Hey man, it's not even the same sport.
Yeah.
The way men play isn't even the same. It's not even it's not the tennis I even play." Yeah. Oh, Letterman. Yeah,
I remember
that was crazy insightful.
Because I think it's always the fans that want to talk about those things, right? And like the athletes know what would actually happen in those scenarios.
Yeah.
But it's a cool thing to talk about, right? Because I would in my brain, I would love to see Tia just go out in the final heat of men with her own weights and just stand next to those guys and line up and just go to battle with them, which would be very cool. I think it would be something that would be awesome to watch.
Yeah, and the thing is also is it doesn't diminish anything that the women can accomplish, because it would be very easy to program a games that's really, really impressive where Tia could place top 10 in the world. Right? You could,
I think the better question is if that guy was thrown into the women's division.
Oh shit.
What place?
Oh yes, you're right. That is a better question. Dude, that's holy shit, we're dumb.
Yeah.
That's totally a better question.
Because I don't know if he would win.
Wow. Yeah, and I guess that's what I was going for. You just said it in one sentence. Wow, that is the real question. You're right.
It's a great, and I don't want to speak on it because I don't know what his performances look like from like a time standpoint, but I have to imagine he would be fighting for a podium spot. Like, if anything.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I want to do a show and play that game. That's awesome. When Tia showed up this year, because of all of her High Rocks training, what percentage of CrossFit Tia did we get? As opposed to if she wouldn't have done High Rocks training, would she have been 10% better, 3% better?
Honestly,
outside of the psychological implications that probably benefited her from like swerving away from CrossFit for a second.
No, I think honestly the only thing that would have been different is the back squat. Literally, like that's the only, with the programming this year, that would be the only thing that she was a little bit less on. And I think it's crazy to look at. Shane and I were having this conversation, was you take out that pegboard workout placing, and like we can all have a discussion on that like at a different time because it just doesn't matter. But it's a 16th for her best movement, arguably in the field. Like no one's better than her on a pegboard. To see a 16th on that is insane. But if you give her a top, let's just say even 3 on that, I think it's her best body of work ever at the games, placing wise, which is just crazy to think about because it's the year that everybody thought that, hey, she might not come in as strong or she might have people on her heels during workouts. But you look outside of that and the placings are better than they've ever been. And especially in a year that we've had 3 to 5 less events that we've ever had before. And to see the gap margin there, even with the pegboard workouts, pretty incredible.
Hey, did the pregnancy change her body composition at all in a positive or negative? Like, is she able to squat deeper, or Like, did it do anything to her hips from having the baby or anything like that? Like, have you noticed anything like, oh, she moves different now?
No, I don't think it was a pregnancy at all. But I would say High Rocks has done some things that is interesting. Because she got into High Rocks training right after the games last year. It was the first off season where she kind of trained through the off season that wasn't CrossFit. Um, and she said her body just responded really, really well to it, and it was the best that she'd felt from a healing injury standpoint, and it was the best her body felt from just coming back into movement again. And obviously she did rogue, which is a whole other beast when it comes to training, but post rogue into the season, she's like, it's the healthiest I've ever felt, which is very cool. And I think that was just because she wasn't squatting as much, she was just running, staying upright a lot. So that was something I picked up on a lot, but I don't think from the pregnancy we saw much. Obviously she was a little bit like bigger going into that Rogue Invitational the year she came back, but because of High Rocks, she got even smaller than that. So I think she's kind of just back at baseline now.
It didn't help her, like, there's this concern that when women are pregnant, I forget what they produce, but they produce some sort of chemical that makes it so they're more flexible in their joints, right? And I noticed from when my wife was lifting, and there's concern about doing like heavy things overhead because you start getting so flexible. They call the doctors say it's like softening or something. I mean, you can see it in their skin and everything. It's like that pregnancy glow, right? They just start looking angelic. And none of you didn't see any changes there, like that she was able to keep or any benefits. It just seems like some women really bounce back like amazing. And you haven't spotted any like benefit to the baby, like anatomically or uh inner movement patterns or her
No,
flexibility.
she was always very mobile as an athlete, so there wasn't really anything there that I think changed. The hard thing was that she got that wrist injury while she was coming back, so there was a lot of work that had to be done on that,
Oh,
to where there was a lot of things that got pulled back because she had to heal that. So you couldn't notice as much if it was all linear and it was all just kind of in the same flow of what she normally would do. But I would say like the mental component of having Willow for her was the biggest aspect of it, because she was just like a different person when she came back from having Willow, and a new perspective of life in general. I think, to where, like you said before, she just embraced people around her a lot more and just enjoyed everything she was doing a little bit, because she just, hey, I don't have to just do this for my own career anymore. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for the people around me. And she's just enjoying every moment a little bit more. And that was obviously the same time that we got into our new building, and life was kind of changing all for the good at the same time. So that was a really cool period for us when she did have Willow.
it seems like it gave her a new why,
Mhm.
which is huge for an athlete. I mean, I hear UFC fighters talk about it all the time. If you lose your why, you're fucked.
Yeah, and we see that it's crazy in UFC, right? Because we see that kind of shift when they have a loss. So like
Yeah.
you get guys that go undefeated for a certain amount of time, and then their whole world gets rocked by losing one time. And it's not like anything on paper has actually changed, but then you see them kind of go on a tear of like 2 to 3 losses before they figure it out again. And whether that's finding a new coach or a training camp, it's very interesting sport in that way that we see. We see that happen a lot.
Fighting's a trip because every fight is the Super Bowl for you. Like
Yeah.
every fight's the biggest fight of your career.
Yep.
The pressure in fighting must be insane.
Yeah, we noticed that a lot this year, just because coming into the High Rocks world, it was very interesting because those guys, it's even more high stakes in the games, right? Because their world championship was one race.
Mhm.
Like at the games, you could have a bad event. Like let's
Mm.
for Olivia, for example, she has 28th place on event one and ends up on the podium. Those guys train all year long, could have 3 to 4 major wins throughout the year, and they show up to world championships and they just aren't exactly where they need to be, and they get a fifth place, and that's it for them for the season. Like they only have that one single 50, 55 minute race, and that's it. To where, like, I think UFC feels the same way, to where you could have been good throughout the season. You get to the race or camp, I guess, at that point, you get to the race or you get to the fight and you're just not on your A game. And that's how people judge you off that performance. I think mentally that gets tough for a lot of people.
There was a point in the games. It's crazy how perfect it was. They show Willow on the screen, and then it cuts back to Tia at the starting line, going through her starting preparation, and then it shows Willow. I don't know for sure because I'm not Willow, but it looks like Willow saw her mom on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
and she starts going crazy. You know when parrots go crazy? She starts doing the parrot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, when parrots, so I'm like, yeah. And
Yep.
she starts doing the parrot, and the stadium explodes, and it's like you know, it's one of those everyone in the stadium has goosebumps and their tear ducts turn on. Does Tia see that?
Well, she did, and there's that clip of her, and it looks like she starts tearing up a little bit
Yeah, it
because
looks like it rocked her. That's why I wasn't sure if she saw it. It looks like she was like in like I'm about a lion who's about to attack prey, and then all of a sudden she got turned off. I was like, "Oh fuck, is that bad?"
and that was the pegboard workout, and Shane and I were like, "Never again! You guys can never do that to her again." Like, that
I
was
mean,
like as cool.
the
As
stadium
cool as
went
it was, like you just
yeah.
can't like. That was the first time I've seen her face physically change post or pre-workout going into something like that, and it's an awesome moment. And like looking back on it, when you look at the game and she wins by how much she won, I'm glad it happened. But I knew
Right.
in that moment afterwards, she was probably pretty pissed off that she like broke her stare down and what she was getting ready to do.
Okay, so it did. So she did see because we thought we saw that at home. We're like, oh shit, did Tia just see that and have
Yeah,
like turn off for a second, like
yeah,
go into mommy mode? Oh, that's
for sure.
crazy. That's crazy. She went from fucking attack and kill to like suckle mode.
Maybe that's how you beat Tia. Every single workout, you just keep putting Willow up on the
Put Willow
screen.
up. And then she had to go. Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
And they it wasn't the last time they tried it. A couple other times they tried it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
She
It
wasn't
was
gonna let that happen again. No more looking at the big screen after that point.
um there was a moment after the pegboard that Tia went and spoke with Dave, and she was very calm, but it was a very lengthy discussion. Um and they were alone. I was there. I filmed it, but it was a very lengthy discussion, and she was talking to him about her concerns about the pegboard, and she was very calm. But it was a long discussion. I want to say it was like 10 minutes. Um, and I was thinking, how is she able to do that? Like, I don't think every athlete could do that. Have that discussion and then get back in the game. Um, did you know that she was going to go talk to Dave? Was it planned?
Knowing her,
Yeah.
we could guess that she would. There's nothing planned, obviously, but I think knowing her and knowing her and Dave's relationship, that was always
Yeah.
going to be a conversation that's had because the respect that they've built together over the years. I mean, I've seen those two go at it multiple times in a very respectful way to where it's just an athlete and a comp director that need to talk about things. And
Yeah.
people have their thoughts on whatever maybe happening on the floor, and Dave's got his thoughts, and you have to respect those things, but people should be able to voice their opinions, and Dave does a great job with that.
I'll tell you this. The two things I walked away with three things from there. I really respect Tia for how calm she stayed. And I really am blown away that she can have that conversation in the middle of an event. No, after event 2, knowing that there's 8 events left. And I was blown away because as the conversation started winding down, he started actually asking Tia questions. Okay, what do you think the solution is? What should we do in the future? Like, he was really good. I don't think a lot of people realize how fucking cool and open he is.
Mhm.
He's very open and he takes tons of feedback. Like when there's something going on the floor, he'll call Chuck and Todd and Jason McDonald over, and he'll ask them a question like, "Hey, should they be able to allowed to jump off the last box in the burpee?" And then he just sits back and lets them debate it. And those three start fighting with each other. Well, it's dangerous with the vest. No, you have to do it so that they can do this. Or the boxes and Dave just sits there
Yep.
and takes it all in. And he was doing that with Tia. They met, it was tense. And then by like minute 6, he started just asking her questions and taking data points.
Yeah. Because like when you're trying to be the best at something, which Dave is and Tia is,
Right.
there's a mutual respect that should be heard. And it's coming from a place of wanting the best for Dave and the athletes, and Tia wanting the best for herself because that's what she deserves as well. To where I've seen the opposite, to where athletes will just whine and complain and go straight to Dave or go straight to someone and just think I all the time of why did you do this to me and why did this happen to me and this should be fixed because I feel this way, to where Tia genuinely cares about the sport as a whole, to where like that shouldn't happen to any athlete. And I think she said that recently to someone where we can't have something that just because what lane or what heat you're in, things change. Because if it's the same pegboard for everybody, I don't think you have any concerns there because everybody had the exact same experience. But that's not what happened, which is the hard thing. Because like you look at a situation like Ricky's, where we're not going to blame everything on that for Ricky because he could have done better in other places. But if someone is as good as pegboard as Ricky is, gets that kind of placing when it should have been easily a top 5 for him, you got to start looking at why that happened and what's the solution, because we can't go backwards on it.
I wonder what happens. I wonder what happens with future pegboards. You have to assume it's not the last time we're going to see the pegboard. What was that one called? That was climbing couplet.
Yeah.
And Ricky took a 14th. In hindsight, what did you going into the games? What did you think Ricky was going to take in that?
Well, I think, like, Shane by now, he's a very straightforward and very logical person when it comes to how he coaches and approaches things. He'll never say anything if he doesn't truly believe it. He looked at Kiefer and I before that event. He goes, yeah, this is a top 3 for Ricky, so we can kind of put that where it needs to be and start doing the math on everything else. Like, we had in our brains that because of his pulling gymnastics and how much of a strength that is, and the barbell not being as crazy heavy for those guys, we had him 3 to 5 on that pretty easy.
Which is a win. I think it was Lucy Campbell. I apologize if it's not, who was on the show. And she said, very matter-of-factly, she wasn't complaining or anything. She said, hey, we all had access to the boards before the event, and you stuck to them like basically like flypaper. They were so sticky, they were squeaky. And then when we went out there, it was nothing like what I guess all the athletes got to go out there and test the pegboards before the event. Was it the night before?
Yeah, Thursday night. So they were just put up, brand new. That was like, I think I remember Olivia coming back, and Olivia's not a very good pegboard person in general. She comes back, she goes, that's the easiest pegboard I've ever been on. I can't wait for this event. It's sticky.
Shit.
It's gonna be amazing.
Shit.
Yeah.
And then they Vaseline them up, and then they put Vaseline. They forgot
they took a hose and did this.
The twist of the games this year was we put Vaseline on the boards and didn't tell them.
Well, that's what we were joking about. Dave kept saying, like, you guys don't know how this workout's going to mess you up until you actually do it. And we're like, he was right. Like, it looks simple on paper, but we didn't know that was coming.
Hey, is the convention? So the stories I heard were this was the evolution from the chatter. The pegboards were different. That was a stupid analysis. Then it was the pegboards got wet. Maybe not. And then the final is, hey, you put chalk on a fucking pegboard and it turns to ice. And that seems to be now the conventional wisdom. Is that where we're at?
Yeah,
you put chalk on a plastic pegboard and it turns to ice.
When we were in the first warm-up area, which is that really nice area in the other building where we just kind of hang out with the athletes, we're watching it on the TV, and we're just trying to figure out what's going on, because obviously we're watching Tia do legless pegboards, which is
crazy,
insane.
Yeah.
And I, like, knowing us, we were like, she's still going to win even with legless, which is what we thought was going to happen. But so we're trying to figure out what's going on. And the first thing we think is like, hey, is it the brand of shoes people are wearing? Because it started to seem like,
I heard that. That's a good
brand
thought.
That was going really well, because it may just be the kind of stick that is on the bottom of the shoes. Maybe that's it. Then maybe it wasn't that, because we saw some other people in different brands that weren't doing as well. So we thought, okay, maybe it's getting wet from people's sweat off their arms. That could be it. But then other heats would come back and they're like, no, it's not wet at all. It's just super slippery. So then we're trying to figure out, it's got to be dust or it's got to be chalk that is just creating this barrier on the plexiglass to where your shoes can't stick to them. So we're trying to figure out ways like, do you need to spit on your shoes? Do you need to have a towel? Do you need to figure out a way you can get tape and like take it off? Maddie came back and had a really good piece of advice to where they had to go touch their barrier past their crash pad. She said there was a little piece of flooring that was not like the rest of the floor where you could wipe your shoes off. So the people in that back lane, if they were in that position, they could kind of wipe their shoes and get right back to it, to where she found more grip that way. But for the people that were closer, which meant they were closer to their barbells, they had probably an 8-step walk between the end of their pylon back to there, to where they just got more chalk and more dust on their shoes.
Right.
So there's really no way, unless you had a damp towel and you sat down on your mat and did that every time you climbed, there was no way to get away from it. Just could be, there was so much dust and chalk on the board in general.
Yeah, Colton told us, I think, and he came over to the house afterwards and we did a little podcast, big podcast, and he said he was trying to wipe the sweat off his brow, but he said you could fuck up and put too much on.
Yeah, because there's detriment in being too wet too. So it was one of those things. I think. Have you ever noticed that, like an NBA basketball game or college, how they have that stick pad? So the players, before they go out
No.
onto the court, there'll be this. Think of it as, like, the kids like goo that they play with, where it kind of
Yeah.
sticks to things.
Yeah.
That's kind of the surface. So you step on it 1, 2 with your shoes. It takes any particles off the bottom of your shoes, and then when you
Mm.
get onto the playing court, you're completely ready to go, because they try to keep it off the court and it's very sticky and they want good grip. So
Yeah.
maybe that's a solution. I don't know if you can have one of those
Oh.
next to a
Oh.
pegboard from
Oh.
now on.
Oh.
They sell them. They're very cheap. It's just something that you
Yeah.
could have there. But probably the best solution is just go to wood. We all use wood in the gym. It's one of those things that sticks really well. I don't think anything can go wrong when it comes to wood. And I get it. They want to use the plexiglass so people in the crowd can kind of see better. But if it's coming at a detriment of performance, we got to figure something out.
Yeah. My solution is have them all do it barefoot.
Be crazy.
Yeah, just barefoot. Just go barefoot. What is you have been very optimistic and positive about the future of CrossFit. Is that do you believe that, or do you think it's better just to say that? And do you know what I mean by that? Like,
Yeah.
hey, there's no benefit in being down about it. Like, that's not going to help anything. So I'll just be positive about it. Or do you really like believe that? And then does Proven like Dave? Is Proven a Dave guy?
To answer that question first, yeah, we have an awesome relationship with Dave. Like, Dave, I didn't know Dave as well before last year, and I had some really, really good moments with Dave during everything that happened at the games last year, to where on more of a personal level we became pretty close, which was very cool to see. And that's a position people don't understand, how lonely it can be, and how tough that can be, to be the person where you've got nobody to lean on and you're really taking the brunt of everybody. And I think most people react to Dave in a way where they don't think about his feelings as a person. Not that they need to.
Right.
Like, Dave doesn't care about that. But I think being in that position and just creating a relationship with Dave, to where, hey, we don't need to talk about the games. We don't need to talk about these things. How are you doing as a person? Things like that. We love Dave. And I think Dave's in a position, like I said before, to where we will tell Dave what we think is not going right or what needs to be changed, but it's in a way that helps the sport in general, rather than just saying, hey, I want an advantage for our athletes, so you need to change this. And I think that's what's built our relationship over the years to be as strong as it has. And going back to your first question, I would say a year ago after the games, we had a decision to make, where it was, hey, do we follow the majority of brands right now and we kind of just stick to ourselves and we wait and see what's going to happen, because we're in this limbo and we don't want to go out on a limb for anyone, and then make sure we're just saving our money, if you want to say that, at the end of the day. And Tia, myself, and Shane sat down and we said, hey, CrossFit's the only thing that brought us where we are. The games are the only thing that's brought us where we are. If we don't back it now, what does that say about our character in general? If we don't stick with the thing that we've been with since day one, how does that make us any different than the people that are, wanting Dave fired? And just because the guy programmed an event, did his best, and something happened, like, things happen in sports and it sucks. And I wish things didn't have to happen like that, but it was what it was. And we are here because of that. And we have to move forward with that. And we want to back the brand that's been with us since day one and got us all to the future that we're in. And I think Rich and Mayhem has been in the exact same boat. And it's been really cool to have those conversations with Rich, because we're both on the exact same page. Like, we don't have to agree with how CrossFit handles everything all the time, but if we're coming from a place of understanding and cohesion when it comes to a greater goal and the people that we want to reach in the future and bring CrossFit to, we have to fully back this thing from the worst of times into the best of times. And I would say a year ago, we didn't know if the future was going to look good, but we decided to make that change, and we're going to say we're going to stick with this. And this year at the games in Albany, it felt like the old days to me. It felt like the old days of, like, this is awesome. Like, we're exactly where we need to be. And I cannot wait. Like, the minute we left Albany, we couldn't wait for next year. Like, that was the thing that felt so much different than year than even before. And it felt like a lot of positive hope coming out of Albany, to where the funny thing now is we're going to see all the brands come back. We're going to see all the brands come back. We're going to see all the athletes come back. We're going to see everybody that was in that boat before during the hard times go away. We're going to see them right back on board with CrossFit because they know that, hey, it's going in the positive direction. I guess I should get back on board. And I'm hoping at that point people can see through that a little bit. But it doesn't change what we do. Like at the end of the day, we want to give our athletes the best possible scenario to put them in professional positions. And we want to give our members here at HQ the best chance to change their lives through fitness. And we want to do that on a global scale. And that only happens if we're with CrossFit. And that was the hill we will die on forever.
It's great to hear you say that. I think a lot of people don't realize the grass, and I tell you this, everyone, with peace and love, the grass is not greener on the other side of the hill.
Yep.
Be very, very careful what you wish for. The grass will not, and someday we will cross over the hill, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh fuck." And this bringing it back to like what you said, what it was. I don't think anyone else could have done that besides Dave.
No.
So
no, I think we're in a world of hurt if Dave gets fired last year. Like I think we are in the most lost scenario we could be in when it comes to that, because I think I resonate a lot with it as well, because when I started this position as CEO, I think a lot of people, you look at a resume and you look at a business background. I have some business experience, but the only reason that I've been successful in this job is because I'm just a true fan of the sport in general, of what we do with our athletes, and just the Tia and Shane momentum that we've carried. And I think that goes with Dave. Like Dave doesn't have it all figured out, but there's nobody in this whole world that's a bigger fan of the games and making the games the best it could possibly be as Dave is. And that's
it's not a job. It's not a job for him.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean?
I think he would have to do it. Like you couldn't pay him, and Dave's still showing up for work because he knows that this is the only person that can make the games what it needs to be. And that's a dangerous and powerful position to be in for someone like him that can get us right back on track where we need to be. Because if you let your emotions take the best of you and you start changing what you're doing, that's when things go sideways, because Dave is a strong enough individual and Dave is strong enough in his beliefs of what's happening that he stuck exactly to his guns, and he got us right back where we need to be and created what I think is the best games in the last 3 to 4 years.
Let me read a couple of these. Like Colton said, all the negative people took that shit with them when they left. Great atmosphere for the games. This one's great. I hate how much Nick makes me like Proven. Hey, I have the same sentiment. I fucking hate it too. And I hate how he's turning into the best guest the show's ever had. You ever doubted Dave this year? Proved so much about his leadership. And then there's this. Dave's seen more life than any athlete or coach in the arena. Yeah, he's got a it's like Nick was saying about himself. He has a lot of experience and dedication. Maybe not in the field that someone would have put him as CEO. Just like maybe someone from Dave's life and experience wouldn't have thought he would be good at what he does. But actually, those wells have provided the best leadership and experience and execution. By the way, you are really fucking good at your job. Will Tia do the games next year? Are we going to see a number 9?
I hope so.
When you ask her, what'd she say?
Just no, man. Like in May this year, she didn't know. Like this is Tia's thing, and it's completely fine because she's earned that right. But even if you ask Shane,
it's totally fine.
If you ask Shane and I at any point in the year, we didn't even know last year. And I wish it was some big secret we got to keep, but we're even in the dark when it comes to these things. And I've learned that if Tia says one thing on one day, you just give it a couple months and it's probably going to change. Because at the end of the day, very few people understand what it takes to be the top 1% of the 1% of the 1% even that she is. Like the amount of toll that takes and the sacrifices she has to make in life, and now with her family and the things she has to do to set aside real life to be who she wants to be. It's the hardest job you could ever ask for. And no one should ever be in a position telling her, hey, you can't tell us that you're not going to compete, but then you're going to compete she can choose whatever she wants.
I
And I
agree
think that was
wholeheartedly.
something.
Is anyone doing that? Is anyone doing that?
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
chatter out
it's the
there.
internet. It's the internet,
Oh
right? And I
yeah,
think it's
yeah.
one of
Fuck
those
those
things
guys.
where
Listen,
when I hear people
we'll take
say
her
that
the day
they're
before the games. We'll take her the day before the games. Like we
if
got a
you
lane
yeah,
for you,
if she
just in case. Yeah,
retired and
yeah.
she a day before the game said I'm getting a wild card and I'm coming, best thing that could ever happen. Like everybody would be pumped about that. You're always going to have those armchair quarterbacks that are going to complain about it, but they're probably not doing much in life anyways at that point. But when I see comments of people saying it's boring to watch her, like I'll never be able to wrap my mind around that. I think it's the craziest thing I've ever heard to say something that like you're literally watching history being made of someone that is pure excellence in what they're doing. And if you're not pulling, you know, things for your own life out of that, you're probably missing the boat. But to try to tear someone down for just being a real human and you know you go back and forth, all of us do in life, of saying one thing but maybe changing our mind and going back, like you got to understand that she's just a human at the end of the day. As great as she is and you know as dominant as she's been, she's a human being like the rest of us, and she's allowed to have a different mindset from one day to the other.
Hey, I think something did happen this year. I think there was this swath of people who were like, a big swath of people who were like, "Man, we're so done with Tia. She just dominates. She's taking away the excitement." And I would guess that 90% of those people look back and they're like, "Holy shit, I was so wrong. I'm so glad she competed this year." I mean, she basically saved the women's division. I don't mean to disrespect the other. I don't mean as disrespectful to the other women, but like she is the champ, and it would she gave us a huge gift by coming because she validates the fittest human on the planet. She validates the entire brand, the GPP, general physical preparedness, the unknown and unknowable, all the taglines that make CrossFit, the number one GPP
Yep.
program in the world. She validates them. And not to say that they need validating, but it's nice. But
And I
it's
think
really
the
nice.
coolest thing is you've seen her become more humanized over the years. Her performance hasn't changed, but she's coming out of her shell a little bit more. She's becoming an ambassador for the sport in a way that she wasn't maybe 5 years ago. Because, like
Right.
you said before, she's just becoming more open to being in the community. And I think the funniest thing is, man, like people don't understand that she just can't shut it off. Like she was, you made a great post the other day talking about how Sprague and her did those crazy timed interviews on Monday after the games, which
Yeah.
was awesome. Like shout out
Crazy.
to
Did
Ian
she
and
is that
Tyson. Like
true? When I said that, I didn't even know if it's true. Did she really do a 5 a.m. interview?
5 a.m. Yep. And Sprague was like there until 3 a.m. Like to imagine that is awesome.
Let me
But
just
even
explain
more,
to people what happened real quick. There's a games documentary. They're on limited resources. It's Ian Wittenberg pulling this together. He's as good as any of the best filmmakers who ever been in the CrossFit space. He is so fucking good. And his editing and his music choice and everything. And so they're so limited. And so they ask Tia, we have to do an interview with you. And the schedule is really full. These are the times we have. And there was a 5 a.m. slot. And Tia's like, fine, I'll be there at 5. Now, of course, Ian probably stayed up all fucking night interviewing people. Obviously, if he's interviewing Sprague at 2 or 3 in the morning, and Tia did it. Like, she does not have to do that at all. Sorry, go on. I just wanted to be like, that's crazy shit. She just won the
no,
games.
yeah, and it
And she's
for
in 10
someone like,
documentaries already. She could have just been like, yo, dude, just be like, fuck
and
you.
that's what
Come
I was gonna
visit me.
say.
Yeah.
For her, there's nothing that documentary can do to really help her
Right.
as an athlete. You know what I mean? She's at the point in her career where like James, absolutely go do that. That's going to help you massively in your career. People are going to get to know you better. But for Tia, like there's no reason for her to be there other than she wants to be helping the brand grow. And obviously we have a great relationship with Ian, so she's never going to say no to that guy. That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is she did that interview at 5 a.m. and we're packing up the booth at I think 8 to 9 a.m. out on Pearl Street. And she's right there, man. Like she's putting tape on boxes. She's loading up trucks. Like that's the person that she is. There's no facade there. There's no turn on for the cameras. Like the amount of work that woman puts in on a daily basis for every single thing that she does is just mind blowing. And I wish more people can understand that. And I think people are over the years seeing the kind of human that she is. And I think it's the coolest thing that could happen. And I know like she keeps saying, hey, I want to retire. I want to do this. But I think she's realizing that the more she gets into this and the more people she gets around her that are such good humans, and to see Willow be at these events and see her doing what she's doing, it's going to be life changing for Willow as she grows up, to where it's just not as much of a daunting task anymore, to where she's having a good time. And yes, she's going to be as intense as ever, but she's actually enjoying what she's doing again, which has been amazing to see. And she said it to us a million times this year. She said, this games training with this camp and being in our own facility, HQ, has been the easiest and the most simple and the most fun experience I've had in my whole career of training.
It is kind of cool that it took her like, 5 years, and that she did come out of her shell, after 5, 6 years, and now we're in year 8, and that those people around her interactions with them allowed her to come out of her shell too, right? Like, or maybe not even come out of her shell. That's, but without those people around her, if she wouldn't have let that many people around her in the cameras, we wouldn't have got to see the interaction. Like, it was cool to see her chopping it up and making the crass humor with the Aussie boys. It was cool to see her get pissed when she missed a snatch. Like, those are all, like, we're all like, holy shit, after 8 years, we're finally seeing this. And it was worth the wait.
Yeah, 100%.
What about her? I asked you if you think you'll come back to the games. You said we don't know. What about her going back to High Rocks? Do we know that?
I think she's going to do some this year. We have some plans just to be at a few, because we've got so many coaches now on the High Rock side, to where that's just a part of our business, to where I think she's going to do some doubles races, things like that. But there's nothing planned yet, like competitively. I think that's one of those things where if she feels like doing it in the fall after Rogue and all that, and she wants to jump into a few and maybe put together an 8 to 12 week block of training for it, she will, but nothing on paper yet.
Is there any stone I didn't turn over? Jay Crouch getting on the podium next year?
Yeah. Yeah, he is right there, which is awesome. To see what that guy's done over the last couple years has been nothing short of extraordinary. And I think Maddie's in the exact same boat. I think Maddie gets a little less love when it comes to just talking to the kind of athlete she is and where she's come over the last few years. But to watch her progress, not just physically, but mentally as well, and how tough she's become on and off the floor, is something that's going to put her in a really good place. And to see her in the top 10 2 years in a row after not making it for 3 years has been incredible.
I don't know how they do it. Like, I get along with my wife so well, and people say you can't coach your wife. I coach my wife all the time. She doesn't care. I don't mind if she coaches me. But man, that is an intense situation they put themselves in, because if they have like one hiccup, if he gets upset that she used his cereal bowl, that fuck your whole training up.
To see those two and Ricky, well, one, they're all living with me right now, and they have been for like 6 weeks. So it's pretty. I see everything, which is crazy. But to see
they say it's pretty wild.
To see those three interact the way they do and how selfless they are in an arena where they need to be selfish and they need to be individuals has unlocked something for all three of them that we never could have imagined. Taylor, my wife, even one day came home and she said, I don't think I've ever met better people than Ricky, Jay, and Maddie when it comes to, like, they just love each other. And it's one of those things where it's so genuine. They can be around each other 24/7, and they can go to the CrossFit Games and compete against each other and truly want each other to do well while also competing against each other. It doesn't make much sense, but from what we've been able to build here and the kind of individuals, I would say every single individual we had this year would be in that exact same boat. That's the only way that it works. So honestly, it's been like a dream come true to see kind of where we started in this thing, improving with our athletes, and where we are now.
Hey, I don't know if it was on this podcast or where I saw it, but Jason told a funny story where he was talking to Ricky and Jay. Did you hear that story?
I was there.
Oh, you witnessed that?
Yeah.
Where Jason's who do you want to win? And they're like, Jay's like, if I don't win, I want Ricky to win. Ricky's like, if I don't win, I want Jay to win. And they're like, don't you want John
eyeballs,
or Justin
man?
or James?
Yeah.
Jason's like, no, I want you to win. I don't win.
He's like, if I'm not going to win, it's got to be one of you two, because I don't want the other Brew Boys to win. And Jay and Ricky couldn't understand it. And it was so genuine too, which was so cool to see. And then the opposite, when Ricky and Jay said, hey, I only want him to win, or I only want him to win, Jason couldn't understand how that could be possible. So that was a really it seemed like a small moment, but being able to witness this in person and kind of see it all come together of what we've been trying to build with them as teammates in an individual sport, that was like one of the proudest moments I had the whole weekend at the games.
Has anyone reached out to you that I would know since the games and said, "I'm switching to Proven"?
They've asked.
Okay, they have.
Yeah.
People I know.
Yeah.
And, and that's because of they see obviously going on. They're like, "Hey, I wanna tap into that."
Yeah, I think this year it was a different experience for a lot of people, and we knew what was going to happen coming into the games, but I don't think people realized like the full breadth of how much we've changed and done, and it all paid off over one weekend. Like even to see, we had a couple workouts to where I think we had 4 out of the 6 heat wins in a workout once, and maybe twice of 3 out of the 6, to where it wasn't just our top athletes doing well. We were seeing people through the whole field continuing to push their placements and going up and up. And I think it was seen the most in the back with the athletes and coaches, because we had 24 to 28 people with coaches and athletes in one group, all really enjoying each other's presence and enjoying the weekend together. Where typically in the back, even if you're in a camp setting, you're not talking to the other athletes there, you're not talking to the other coaches, to where we just kind of took over that whole space. And I think it was seen a lot by the athletes. And I got to imagine that's why our phone's kind of ringing off the hook right now with athletes kind of wanting to be a part of that. But to be quite fair with you, it's gonna take a very special fit to add anyone this year based on what these athletes have done. I don't really want to mess anything up when it's come to the environment that we've built. And we've worked harder than anyone to build this thing from the ground up. And I think as hard as that was, it's just as easy to add one bad fit that could bring it all down. And we've got to make sure that we really protect these athletes when it comes to the environment they have. And I'm not out here trying to get the most athletes. I'm trying to get the best ones when it comes to a camp setting.
So for I have a group of friends, and we don't let anyone else into our group, not because other people aren't worthy, but because of just one thing: trust.
Mhm.
Like every time you add something, like you can have great trust with your wife, it's just one on one, pretty easy to do. Then you add someone else, right? And then there's more, and then so the bigger the group gets, it's harder for everyone to trust everyone, right?
Yep.
Would you say that that's the word you would use? That's like the most important word. Like if something fucks the trust up, this whole fucking thing will collapse.
Yeah, I'd say there's probably 2 words there. It'd be ego and then trust. Those are kind of the 2 ends of the
Oh,
spectrum,
yes,
right?
yes, yes. Because I see egos in my group of friends too. That's also a thing too. Yeah, like if basically the second someone gets offended, I'll use that. Um, shit gets tense.
Yep. And I think Jay hit the nail on the head yesterday where he was saying, I did this workout next to Ricky 3 times in a row, and Ricky just absolutely destroyed me every single time. And if you have an athlete with a big ego there, they use that in a negative space to where it's like, oh, I know I'm not going to be anywhere close to Ricky in this. And you let that happen. To where Jay said, man, if I was there against Ricky and I still made some mistakes, if I'm just in the same realm as the best guy at this workout, I'm going to perform even better at the games because I'm trusting what I'm doing. And he got a second place on it, or a third place on it, which is what we've been trying to instill.
What was that workout? Which one was
That
that?
was the event 2 with the crossovers and the shoulder overhead.
Oh, right, right. Okay, okay. I
And I
think
think in the past we've had athletes who were the opposite, to where it's like, hey, I only want all the eyeballs on me. I only want you worrying about my performance. I don't care about the person next to me because I signed up for you to be my coach, and that ruins everything. Like that's one of those things. And it's not that doesn't mean that they're bad people. It doesn't mean they're wrong, but it's just not a home for them here. We'll never take anybody that's kind of in that light again.
so. It's almost like leveraging your ego instead of being run by your ego.
100%. Yep, and you hit it on the head as well with trust. Is what we were able to kind of build in the 5 to 6 weeks that we had here at HQ going into the games is something that will cement our team probably for the rest of their careers. I think there was a couple athletes coming into this that maybe didn't trust us fully, let's say as a brand or whatever we want to call it. But when they left this camp, they felt like it was family, and everybody that was there together connected on a way that you could never connect with anyone else that didn't go through those exact same shared experiences in their own gym. Even if we're technically part of the same group and you're training in Australia and we're over here, you can't feel that same connection until you guys all get in the same room. You all train for the same thing and you go through vulnerable moments together that get you better in the future. And you know that when you line up on that start line, you look down, and although that's a competitor next to you, it's also your teammate. And it gives you a sense of peace that way because you know you've been in that scenario before and you know that you can go out there and compete freely because that person's going to have your back no matter what. And yeah, the leaderboard's going to shake out to where it's going to be as long as you put your best performance in. And if you can let go of that, that's what our athletes have been able to do. And that's why you see Ricky and Jay push each other rather than battling against each other because they all have the same coach. Like Ricky, Jay, Maddie, Shane is their coach. And you got to think like, and Lucy as well, like most athletes in that position are getting upset because Shane doesn't have their full, or they don't have the full attention to where they're getting exact eyeballs on them all the time. But they're becoming more self-sufficient that way to where they're all helping each other get better. And that's paying off because they're just becoming more, professional on the day of to where they can take care of themselves. They don't have to have their hand held all the way through.
Hey, I was interviewing Lucy Campbell, she was great on the show, and she said something like, I'm paraphrasing again, but her whole life, she part of her life as she was entering, whatever, her 20s, womanhood, she wanted to be a professional athlete. And as I recall, she had pursued some different avenues to become professional athletes. I can't remember if it was swimming or track and field or what, but she had started pursuing it. And then she found CrossFit and she thought, oh, I can become a professional CrossFit athlete. And as she was wording this, I was feeling this is a mischaracterization of what CrossFit Games athletes are. And then Lydia Fish's dad sent me the sweetest letter, but he said something in here about his daughter becoming a professional CrossFit athlete. We know the UFC is really big. I'm going to start the argument before I even let you talk. We know the UFC is really big. And a couple of years ago, Dana White said, hey, you have to understand that being a UFC fighter is not a career, it's an opportunity. And whether it's good or bad, you can almost say that about every sport. Like I heard the average life of an NFL quarterback is 1 year or some shit, or the NFL player is less than 3 years. Is the conversation, two things, is the conversation not being necessarily honest when you talk about a professional CrossFit athlete because the professionals are really an anomaly?
Yeah, I think we rarely see someone, and I would argue that we maybe even have only a few of them that are truly professional right now. And you're looking at your Tias, right, where they can,
Right.
No matter if she never competed one more day, she's set for the rest of her life, and she's truly a professional athlete. I would say the rest of them, they've got a choice on their hands. They can make the most of their time in this, and they can take as much money as they can, and they can get out and figure out what they're going to do with their lives, or they can fully buy in from a CrossFit standpoint and figure out, hey, how can I leverage, might not be the word, but how can I leverage my position as a CrossFit Games athlete to then help the greater CrossFit space further on? And I would say one really good example of this is Tim Paulson. Tim Paulson, I don't think we would consider.
I need to have him on.
I don't think we would consider him when you're talking about a true professional athlete in the sport to where he's making enough money to ever sustain himself in that way.
A great CrossFit athlete, been around forever. Everyone from his era knows who he is.
Affiliate owner. And that's the thing, right? Like he dug in so fully as a multifaceted person where he owned an affiliate, he coached, but he was also a games athlete. And he didn't just let that define him. And now look where we are. The minute after he got done competing, we had a conversation maybe the week or two after. I was like, hey, you're one of the few athletes I've ever met where I think you have a really bright future as a coach. Is this something that you kind of want to dig into? And since then, he's been able to quit everything he's doing and just fully go into coaching with us and helping athletes around the world. And he's got so many athletes that have been able to have these success stories of not just going to a semifinal or going to the games or getting on a podium like Olivia, but like moms and people that have never done fitness before just stepping into the gym for the first time. So I think we're starting to see this weird shift to where all these athletes want to be professional, but they're not buying into the ecosystem that got them there in the first time.
Oh,
And
that's huge. We'll come back to that. Keep going.
And that's why they're not making money. Like, and I hate to say it, but people are getting smart enough now to where they see through that. And they're not going to just let you come in here, make a living for a few years and get out because they don't support that. They're going to be able to see right through a way that you need to be more involved in the community. You need to show a way that you're helping this sport grow. And especially in our time now, to where what happened last year was it was a divide in the community and divide in the athletes. And it, like I said in our last show, it showed people's true colors. And the athletes that stuck around this year and the Lydia Fishes and the people that we got to know on more of a personal level who are just genuine, real people, those are the people I'd rather see at the games and the top level athletes anyways. And I think those are the people that help the games grow the most.
Hey, and there are some great examples, just like the old days. Rich would do whatever Dave asked. Hey, can you come out and sign these cards? Can you do this workout? Will you show up to the affiliate gathering? Rich and Dan and Josh were always there back in those days. They would just show up, right? And then now, a great example is Proven making the decision to support CrossFit through the hard time and stand by its side. And then, like Tia's objective example is Tia showing up at 5 a.m. to do the interview. When clearly 5 a.m., like you need from between 5 and 8, you need to be with your fucking kid. But she's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I really do think that the biggest metric to help the athletes is, and I don't know why it took me so long to come up with this, but if 1 million people do the Open, sponsors lose their fucking minds, and it rains money down on the athletes. Now all of a sudden we have people getting semifinal athletes and people who do well in the Open getting sponsorships as opposed to just the best elite athletes. Do you agree with that? That if the Open is a metric, if you're like Perfect Bar and you see they got 1 million signups for the Open as opposed to 250, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and strip it down to a selfish level. Like even this year,
yeah,
games prize money was tied directly to Open signups, and
right.
the lack of interest I saw from games athletes trying to promote the Open is mind blowing. Like you're directly shooting yourself in the foot of not being able to make more money, and that's like the pessimistic way to look at it, but it's realist.
Well, it's algebra. That's I mean that's the science.
Yeah, and like you had this one time to where you could directly help your own financial future. And if you're not even going to help the thing that built your career in the first place, then you're never going to help. It's never going to be something that you're bought into. It's never going to be something that you actually care about. And at that point, like, what does it matter if you're labeled as a professional athlete? Like the minute you're done with this, you're going to be forgotten. There's going to be nobody that talks about you anymore. And it just doesn't matter. Where you could be a 20 to 30th place athlete, but you're fully bought into the community. Maybe you're an affiliate coach, you're an L1 coach, and you're giving your all to this community. You're going to have a future in this forever. And let's just say you're a demo team athlete, or you're just somebody that helps make this sport better. Those are the people that we need around. Like I as much as we value performance with our athletes and getting them to the highest possible position we could be in, I much rather them be good character people and have them around like a Caroline Stanley and a Kyra this year, to where they're just great representatives for us to be at the games on demo team, and they're great people. And I think even though they wanted to be on that floor so badly, they had a great experience and they got to meet people from the community and they got to be real people and they got to just enjoy their trip there, even though they wish they would have been competing.
There is some crazy statistic. I don't know if Pedro came up with it or who came up with it, but people who are demo athletes go on to have pretty great careers at the games. Like that, I don't know if what came first, the chicken or the egg, if Dave's just picking the best or if it's the experience they get on the demo team. A couple weeks before the games, there was Danielle Brandon parted with her coach, Elle, over from Brute. And Danielle, I never was in the back, so I don't know actually how it manifested, but the word on the street is that Adam Knifer, Justin Medeiros' coach, and who's the guy? God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. The strong man. Do you know his name, Adam Knifer's
I know who he is,
partner?
but I don't know. I've never met him.
He's really cool. It sucks I can't remember his name. Someone will say it in the comments. That they were going to take on Danielle's coaching position. Oh, Jesse. Yes, Jesse. Thank you, Olivia. That they were going to take on that coaching role for Danielle. Did anyone come to Proven and ask for you guys to take her on?
Danielle?
Yeah.
No. I think that. No, there's no communications with her over here.
Okay, so her agent didn't, or her agent or manager wasn't like, hey, we got a little issue here. We need a coach. Can Proven provide her a coach? No. You were okay. So maybe Knifer. I was just curious if there were people. I mean, then Knifer's one of the best there is. True gentleman, can navigate the deepest waters. Yeah. So he probably was an amazing fit for that. All right. Thank you. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Always a good time.
Really appreciate it. Tell everyone I said hi. Say hi to the boys. Got to get Maddie on. I think we have Olivia scheduled. And thanks for all the insights and the honesty. I really appreciate it. And thanks for being a rock in the space, to all the Proven people for being a rock in the space. Nick did do us a solid and go rescue and revive Mal. Wow, any chance of that? You know any Mal stories?
There's obviously no conversations there, but man, I would love to see her back at it. And maybe that's not something that she wants anymore, but to watch what she did when she did it, it was always very exciting. So I don't know what her plans are, but she's an amazing athlete.
Yeah, she is amazing. All right, dude. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. You're always welcome on. Thank you. Oh, and are you going to be at SoCal? Are you going to be at Wodapalooza?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Cool. See you, man.
All right, ciao. Nic Johnston. Damn. All right. I think I turned over every stone, but when is Tia coming on? Tomorrow. She'll be here tomorrow. He's so insanely well spoken. All right, now the real show starts. There are, of course, there are sale. There were some voices in the space saying that the sale would not happen all along. Saying, "Hey, I promise you, the sale will not happen before the games." Every week, there's someone tells me, "Okay, we're going to know who bought the company next week." We're 1 week away from knowing. And when I say that, I actually really mean that. Every week I've heard that for 4 months. Next week we will know. Next week we will know. And if you follow Malik did a podcast. Malik's one of the bidders to buy CrossFit, and Malik did a podcast in French that I believe Jenny is going through right now. So I'm sure Dense Updates will have an update on it. I've already heard some pretty wild things that were said in the podcast. One of the things said here, this is a direct quote: "If French men do CrossFit, it will make them heterosexual." That's crazy. I didn't even know that. That's one of the one of the things coming out. That's kind of cool. Kind of interesting. I didn't know that. But Jenny is deciphering it now. She'll go through it. So was that the closest you're getting to interview Tia? Yeah. Do you think the first time he had him on, I tried not to ask him any questions about Tia. I don't know if I was successful at it, but I was like, God, he must always get bombarded with questions about Tia. And then this time I was about halfway through the interview and I forgot, oh shit, I didn't have that talk with myself before he came on. And I probably should have had that talk. I do like his attitude, man. If there's this your bathtub's leaking and you just throw your bathtub away or fill it with cement, I don't know if that's a good idea. You'll never bathe again. There are some people in the community who that's what they do. Their bathtub leaks and they fill it with cement. It's like, hey man, like you Maybe that's not your, best solution. I really gotta tell you, if you need a dress, just have to tell you, this dress looks crazy on my wife, and I just realized it's on sale. I don't think I got it when it was on sale. It just came yesterday. This dress is crazy. I used to love my wife wearing the, Lululemon t all the tennis gear, like those really short skirts with, like, the shorts underneath it. So it kinda gave you the illusion that you were seeing more than you were, but she's still covered up nice. I hope she, like, finds some good, like, booty shorts or something to wear underneath that. Like, it blows up and you think you're gonna see something, but you don't, but you still get excited. Yeah, this dress is awesome. It comes in on the waist good, it holds the tits good, and it flares out the ass, and, her arms look great in it, it's awesome. Yeah, tennis gear looks great on women, yeah, I agree. So, um, uh, yeah, my wife looks better I mean, not that this girl looks bad in this dress, but my wife looks better in this dress than this chick. So, you wanna take a risk on a dress. And my wife's not I can't think of my wife's not a dress person. I think she believes me that she looks great in it. Sorry. What do you mean whenever I visit China? Whenever I visit China, when I go to China. I'm talking about, like, when I go to China. Been to China multiple. Like, if I go there again, I think it's gonna be the same observation. What do you mean whenever? What do you mean whenever? You're asking me I'm what I mean by whenever? What do you mean by whenever? Who cares how often? I used to go. I've been to the Great Wall. Fighting with my friends. Trudy, are you texting, Sevi? No. I would no. Land of my people. Tell me about China. I don't really wanna talk about it. Um, I don't really wanna talk about it. I'm not saying anything bad about China. I'm definitely not saying anything good about China. I think I took this photo. I wonder if I took this photo. Do any photographers wanna fight with me and say they took this photo? I think I took this photo. Damn, look what that's doing to her tits. Crazy. That's a great look for her tits. It definitely didn't take that one. That's a great photo. Definitely didn't take that one or that one. Maybe I took that. That dude's wearing a mask. Holy shit. Holy shit. Her boyfriend's wearing a mask. I would never in a million years let my wife, I would shit with the door open, 1,000 times before I would let my wife see me wearing a mask. Holy shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's weird the reality some people live in, right? Like, here's the thing, a lot of us maybe live in different realities and have different perceptions, like, like, my kid's scared of monsters when he goes to sleep at night, and you give him a pass, right? Even though it's just completely ridiculous, because 'cause we've all been there, but it's just completely fucking ridiculous, right? There's a monster in the bathtub. No, there's not. Let's go over and look at it. Turn on the light. Look in there. Now look. Now you got a 180-pound dog fucking sitting between you and the bathroom and the front door that bites people. Nothing's coming in the house. Like, you explain it all to them. The house is full of people. Like, there's no monsters. You turn off the lights and there's monsters. That's what that's like. For those of you who wear masks or who like are scared of shit like that, like, that's what we think. Like, we think you're kind of like, you're an adult who's still like, it's okay to be afraid of the dark because you don't know what's in the dark. I get that. But then there's certain things you can do to make it like all the doors are locked. You have 3 dogs in the house. You've checked every room and every closet, and there's no monsters coming in the house. She's the one who asked what variant of COVID the underdogs athletes came down with. Oh, shit. It's all. Maybe I shouldn't even laugh at it. That's just fucking. Can you imagine making that your reality? I don't think this is a real leaders jersey. I think they just sell these. By the way, the Crash Crucible qualifier has started. That's the code for it. Started yesterday. Kill Taylor's $2,500. Is today Friday? Can you imagine how excited? Just think about how if you have a shitty life and you want to live vicariously through me, just think about how great my life is. Tomorrow morning I get to do Kill Taylor and watch Taylor defend $2,500. Then I get to hang out with my kids all day, and then I get to sit down and watch the UFC. God, tomorrow's going to be crazy. Yeah, people, life doesn't have to be crazy complex. Unless you're a premenopausal. So next week we'll know who bought the company again. Let me see. Oh yeah, Jenny's digging through this. This is going to be good. The next gen dense updates is going to be good. It's going to be really good. Hello? Hi.
Health insurance. Are you looking for an individual or a family plan?
You're responding. Oh, you're Jacqueline? Hello?
Yes.
You're Jacqueline?
Yes, I'm Jacqueline.
Oh, okay. First I want to thank you for calling me and helping me out. The show was in a little bit of a lull. Oh. All right. Been quiet about the Inside the Box show, a box office show. Been quiet about the Inside the Box Office show. Is that a movie? What is that? Been quiet about the inside. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Someone explain that to me. It's crazy. I can't follow the own chat. Do you know how someone said yesterday in the chat when I was doing the show, the CrossFit Games update show, someone said, does Sevon have a learning disability? Dude, I'm in this chat with like 12 or 13 people and I never fucking know what's going on. Like to me, they're talking in code. And I can't ask every time I don't know what's going on, hey, can someone explain this to me? So I try to like have like a cadence to it. Like every 10 topics that come up, I'm like, can someone explain this to me? Because I fucking never knows. Or it's the whole but everyone else knows. They're like laughing about something or talking about something or debating something. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Maybe I do have a learning disability. Did Kenneth respond to me? It got pretty wild last night. Oh, fighting with Bryson and hello?
Hi, good day to you. This is Max. How are you?
Hi to Beatsy. This is Max. I'm sorry.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So by the way, sir, this I'm responding to the application you submitted for health insurance. Are you looking for individual or a family plan?
Oh, I got insurance.
So if you don't mind me asking, how much are you currently paying for that?
I don't know. My wife does it.
Is it full coverage?
I don't know any of that stuff. It's like adult stuff.
All right.
Okay.
All right, no problem, sir. But thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Yeah, I love you. Me so horny. Me love you long time. Sebi, would you like to go head to head with my wife? No, but thank you. I'm good. Where's I want to see what Kenneth said. Got pretty wild last night. Is he gonna tell me? What are you talking about? This show got wild last night, fighting with Bryson and all right. It's the girls on Brian's channel who want to go head to head with Pat Lange. Jesus criminy, I'm a mess. I don't know what's going on. I want to interact with you guys. That's the thing. It's better I just randomly pull up shit and don't try to figure out the conversation. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, Jesus. That's how I. Hey. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, you want to get
What's
me?
happening?
Are you watching the show right now?
I am.
Can you tell me what's
That's
going
why I
on?
called.
Tell me what's going on in chat. Let me hear. This is what I have to. I have to call Andrew once in a while. I'll be like, hey, what's going? Or Taylor, what's going on in chat?
I'll be your Andrew Taylor. The girls down Brian's network, Brian Friend's network, inside the box office. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the
Dr. Masia,
the
and
Lebanese
Kate.
chick and the hot chick with the giant head.
Yeah, those
Yep.
two.
Yep.
You didn't watch the episode yesterday, did you?
No, I have.
Okay.
I didn't make it past episode 3. I was projecting. You know what's crazy? I just realized that I was projecting. I said they would never make it past episode 3, and like any douchebag NPC that I am, I was talking about myself.
They made a reel about that, about you guys saying all that.
So I apologize. Even I am not perfect. Please don't unsubscribe. But even I am not perfect. Yeah, I must have been talking about myself.
Yeah. So yesterday, Dr. Mesa took off the gloves or something. I don't know. She said she put her big girl pants on and actually
that's the Muslim girl.
said
That's the
something.
Muslim girl. Muslim.
Yeah, the one on the right.
Yep.
Or should I say the left? No. She finally actually said something. Grant was keeping it real, was kind of going at her in the chat, and kind of got her to, I don't know. It sucks that she had to like get upset to say something. I think it's just weird that you have this show and people are complaining that you're not saying anything. So then you get upset and then you say something, as opposed to just like, hey, I'm going to say something and then maybe I'll get upset while like it's just a weird, it's weird to me. But her and Ben's entered the chat and they had some choice words for each other. And then eventually they actually sent Grant a link and he hopped on and he took it easy on her, but I think he did a pretty good job for being Grant.
What happened? Like, were they were catfighting Jenny and the Brian Friend girls?
Yep, they were catfighting, and yeah, it wasn't it wasn't terrible, but like it was definitely entertaining, definitely worth watching if you have some time this weekend. Definitely worth watching because, like I said, you get the Jenny catfighting. You get Grant on there, but you actually get Dr. Mesa to actually say something instead of just a lot of word vomit. She actually says something. And I think personally for me, one of the things she said was essentially, you know, the spirit of what I'd say is true, but I'll mess up the wording. But essentially, CrossFit, in a sense, should affiliates, et cetera, should essentially make things look easier so that we get more people in the door, and then we can go from there. And one of the things I said, one of my sentiments is,
hey, that was Rose's plan. That was Rose's plan.
Yeah,
that was Rose's plan.
Exactly.
Destroy the brand.
Let's dumb it down. Let's water it down so that we get all these people in.
Let's make an affordable Rolls Royce, Jeremy. Let's make an affordable Rolls Royce so everyone can have one. Let's do it.
Exactly. We lose the prestige of it. We lose the unique nature of it. And my gym actually has tried that. Let's just get a bunch of people in here. And then what people realize is when people realize you are lying to them, they're not only going to leave and be upset, they're going to tell everyone else, hey, they're full of shit. You know, they lied to me. They said this stuff was not what it is. And then I got in there and I'm doing burpees and box jumps, all this stuff that I thought I wouldn't have to do, you know. No, CrossFit and Jenna Huaca, what they're doing right now is
Huaca.
I think that's how you say it. What they're doing is, hey, this stuff is hard. There is no quick fix. Come and do it or don't, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's going to be hard. And I think those of us that have been in this for a while, we realize that, we accept that. We know it's not perfect. It never can be, but we also know that going the other route of, yeah, just come on in. Come on, everybody. Let's get in here and we'll all hold hands together. It's like, it doesn't work that way.
Jeremy, if I was in high school and there was a girl named Jenna Huaca during the Hawk Tui movement, like that's all we would call her. We'd be like, hey, Jenna Hawk Tui. We would have turned her into the blowjob queen.
That'd be fantastic. I hope her said her name right. That's how you say it, right?
Jenna
She's cool,
Huaca.
man.
She is cool. Hey,
she's cool as hell.
Do they know that they're not saying anything? Like, I don't think people know. Like, I don't think Lauren Khalil knows that she doesn't say anything. You know
I'm going to answer your question without trying to shit on somebody.
Right.
But I think
I'm not shitting on Lauren too. I think Lauren's, by the way, I think
no.
Lauren's amazing. I think she's one of the hardest workers in the space, but someone needs to, I don't think that a lot of these people know that they're not saying anything.
For sure. And I'm going to give you this. I'm going to break it down this way. Right now in our society, maybe I've said this to you before, we have a lack of self-awareness epidemic. We have a lack of personal accountability epidemic. And we have an enabler epidemic that make the first two worse. Those girls, Lauren Khalil's, especially with social media, they have enablers. And I could probably name 5 dudes right now that enable those girls to think they're actually saying something when really they're not.
Okay, so you don't think they're scared? You don't think there's? I think Lauren's. To be more correct, I think Lauren's afraid to say anything, and she's pretty much admitted that on the show. Like every time I watch one of her shows, she admits that. But I don't know if these girls are afraid or if they don't know that they're not saying anything. And just to give an example, because I know I'm not saying anything right now. Just to give you an example, you could say over and over that flower is beautiful, and you're not to the real ones. You're not saying anything. Like we need to to say something, be like, I'm a huge fan. You really got to put yourself out there and make yourself vulnerable, and that's why I think a lot of people don't do it. But you're going to have to express. I really like long stem roses that have a lot of nodes, except when it gets within 3 inches of the bud, I like there to be no nodes. And then I like a flower that's 3/4 open. And that's the time window I like it. And before and after that, I just want to throw it away or fucking beat my ex with it. Now you've said something. Then be like, okay. And then when you do that, people can judge you. They can be like, Sevon's a scumbag. He hates roses that are closed. That's why, like, I think Lauren's afraid to say anything because she doesn't want to be judged about her feelings, her exact feelings.
Terrified of that.
Yes. But I don't know if these girls know. I think most people don't know. Like all my liberal friends, they don't know that they're not saying anything. They say stuff like, you know what I mean? They use words like, they stay like in the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I don't know. More afraid, but I think those girls. I don't think those girls are afraid. I think they have people patting their back and telling them, "Great job! Oh man, you really gave it to that dense bitch," and you know what I mean, like, and then they're like, "Yeah." You know, so like they're enabled by these people that are telling them, "Yeah, you're doing a great job. You really gave it to them." Meanwhile, people like us are like, "Dude, just say something. Say how you actually feel. Why don't you like CrossFit? Or what about CrossFit don't you like? And how do you see that getting better? How would you? They don't say anything, you know. So it's definitely worth watching though. If you have time this weekend, I would say watch it. 2 times speed, 1.5 speed. It's pretty entertaining.
The thing is, if you see a drunk guy at the top of the stairs and really drunk and he's wobbling at the top and you see him come down the stairs and you're like, fuck, this is going to be a train wreck. That, for me, I don't have a problem with the big W at all. They can do whatever they want. I'm a free market guy. I think that Will's doing his best and Teresa Jackson's doing his best, or whatever the guy's name is, the mascara guy. I think that the parents aren't trying to throw their money away. I think the athletes really wanted to go somewhere and make extra money and have fun. But the truth is it's a drunk dude at the top of the stairs who's about to like fall down the stairs. And how do we know that? Because we are, like, just to give you one example, they're about to embark on something that they don't even know that's going to happen to them. And maybe it started already. But any second now, all the athletes are going to turn on them because that's what they always do. So ever since Rosa came, we haven't. You know how Dana White just slaps the shit out of the athletes? It's like fucking hitting what's that mole game? If you don't have someone doing that to the athletes, they'll fucking kill themselves. They'll complain until they die. They need a fucking strong leader that's like, hey, shut the fuck up, put your head down, and get back to work. Dance, monkey, dance. And the WFP are they going to have a strong enough leader? Because all the complaints are about to roll in. Because the athletes, and this isn't a negative or positive thing, but they're predisposed to complain. The vast majority of them. Obviously not Colton Mertens, but the vast majority of them. And so you whack-a-mole, yeah. And so when you have someone powerful like Dave at the helm, you give him the freedom, he'll keep all the athletes in check. They want to be kept in check. Everybody wants to be kept in check because they need to know their boundaries. But the big W is going to have a lot of problems, and that's about to be a huge one. That's going to affect those guys psychologically. When the athletes start complaining, they're going to be like, but we've done everything. And they have done everything for them. Beautiful event, beautifully shot. All the attention. I mean, they're already like, after what Andrew Hiller did by dismantling the documentary, giving feedback on that documentary, they're probably going to start complaining that they're not getting enough. I don't know where, but they're going to find something. And Nick was saying the opposite. Like, hey, when you complain, you have to still be able to stay on the team. You have to be able to fight and stay on the team. And it's going to be interesting to see how Will and the others navigate it. In that same boat, Jeremy, I think Dylan over at Wodapalooza has that problem because he's put a premium on using the best athletes in the world. So he thinks they're vital to the success of his events. And that's a hard place to be, man. That's a really hard place to be. So
it's a fine balance, but I think if you're a leader, if you're not, like you were talking about Dana White, if you're not at least embodying some of his philosophy, his ways, you don't have to be as brash, you don't have to be as crass, whatever. But if you're not understanding, like if you're not Dave, if you're not someone like Dave, who is a strong leader with strong experience, understands what these athletes are supposed to be doing and stuff like that, and has the balls to say it, you know, I honestly can't believe WFP has lasted as long as it has. And I know it's not even been a year, but like, yeah, they're going about this all wrong. I mean, these athletes, I know some will want to be more than a dancing monkey, but at the end of the day, that's what you guys are.
Well, then, hey, if you want to be more than a dancing monkey, become a firefighter. Become a firefighter. The entertainment industry is not the entertainment industry is about dance monkey dance.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's just 100%. All it is. I like their thumbnail. I like the in the box thumbnail.
Yeah.
I really like this girl, Caitlin's hair.
If they just
Did she vote Trump?
Yeah.
I hate to sound like my kids. Did she vote Trump or did she vote Kamala?
I don't know. That's a great question. You should ask her. Get in the chat someday and ask her.
I can't do it. Like there's
I'll
certain
ask
shows.
Taylor
Hey,
what-
dude, I don't have the humility. I can come on in the safety of my show and tell you I watched their show. Like I watched the first 3 shows, but like I can't.
Here you go. Create a different YouTube account and then go in there.
I can't do that either. I can't live with myself. Like I think I'm too big time to. I think I'm too big time to commentate on that show. I mean, to comment in those comments, even though like
Hey, maybe you are.
even though like I'm watching, and if I don't hear something, like I'll rewind it. Like I could admit it here in the safety of my little den, but like I have way too much ego to comment and like give anyone like the. I think like I'm too cool for the show. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
You do get it? Do you get it? Do you get it?
Why-
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your ego's a little bit too big. You got to check a little. I get it. It's all good. I don't think anyone would think any less of you. That helps. If you were in there and you said something, I don't think, oh my God, Devon's too big to be here. You know what I'm saying? I think people are like,
Yeah.
get up, you know?
Yeah, way too big.
Ask your boy Taylor why he blocked them.
On
IG. Kind of gay.
why do they go after him? I don't think they go after him, right? They don't say anything. How could they go after him?
I don't know. I have no idea. All I heard was that Taylor blocked us or something, or blocked me. I think Kate was saying that, and I'm like, really? Why would Taylor? Why would anybody? Well, I don't. Blocking. If like someone's attacking my kids or just being super dishonest, and so, okay, I'll block you. But like, blocking people just because you disagree, man, that's liberal. That's woke stuff.
Hey, can I tell you? Can I tell you something? Who's this Bildo?
Please do.
Is this like Dildo?
That's our resident doctor,
Okay.
McCockner.
Oh, that's Dr. McCockner. Is he really a physician?
I don't know.
Oh, anyway,
Really physician?
it's so crazy. Like, so many people will be like, hey, you should see this, or you should see that, or you should do this, or are you watching this? Or they send me an Instagram account and they don't send a link. They send a screenshot. Or or like someone will on Instagram be like, you should interview this person with no link to their IG or any contact information. I fucking hate, like, you just like fuck off, dude. Like fuck.
Yeah, I've
off.
learned
Like,
my lesson with that.
oh shit, my camera turned off. I'm just like fuck off. And Dildo now oh wait, what's going on? I don't know if that's ever happened during a show before. Or go to USB mass storage. Has it ever done that? The show ever done that?
What happened?
My camera turned off.
Oh, batteries?
No, it says the batteries. It's plugged in. Camera's plugged in. I guess you can still hear me.
Zuckerberg finally found you.
It's not like I'm as pretty as Big Head Caitlin. It doesn't matter if I'm on here.
Hey, Caitlin.
What would you call her?
So Bildo is asking to do what's up now?
He gave me a time code, and it's like kudos to him. Thank fucking God, someone did.
Oh, good job, Barry. Good job.
Check the connected device. Okay, well, I gotta go. I gotta fix this. Thank you for calling.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, bye. Let me play a commercial, and I gotta stand up, and I don't want you guys to see me in my underwear. I gotta stand up and what is this?
So the really cool thing about Event 4, which
Oh shit! Am I allowed to play that? Have they ever announced Event 4? Wait, I don't know what the fuck. Where is there a commercial here or something I can play? Oh, I'll play this. Okay, stand by.
I'm Emily Carlson, and I'm 26, and I've been doing CrossFit regularly for about 4 years. For me, coming to CrossFit every day is important for several reasons. the mental fortitude it takes to come do a workout every day helps me in other aspects of my life. So I grew up a dancer. I always just danced, and then in my adult life I danced professionally for a couple years as well. I never had to work mentally at keeping myself accountable, staying in shape, because I was just expected to show up. And so when I wasn't dancing or after I retired, that was a difficult journey, because you are so used to being active your whole life, and now you have to figure out how you can do that on your own. That's one reason why I started CrossFit, and I personally love the aspect of coming to class, having a coach lead you through a warm-up, a workout, and everything, and actually helping you improve your technique. You know, having a good coach is important to me to help me learn what to do with my body, because that's just, like I said, not something I grew up on. I just knew how to dance, and that's it. So it's been super important for my fitness journey to stay in shape ever since I retired, and I love it.
Can you be that young and retire? I just I changed the battery. Changed the battery. Ms. Meza, hi. Welcome to the show. Hey, did you guys crack the code on reading comments? I can tell you how to do it. You want me to tell you how to do it? You don't actually read them until you pull them up. Like, it's crazy how many this isn't a dig at you guys. It's crazy how many people fall into the comments. I don't know. I don't know how that you guys allow that to ever happen to you, but it happens to all sorts of people on this show too. When I have guests on, they fall into the comments. Like Taylor falls into the comments, like all sorts of people. But if you never want to fall into the comments, like, don't even read them until you pull them up. So just like you have, like, you can just go like this. Like, you just know Judy Reed's your girl. So you're like, good for her. So many collegiate athletes get fat and out of shape afterwards. Yeah. So that, like, you just know she's going to, you start figuring out who the articulate ones are. Or like, if you want to fight with someone, like Daniel Garrity's 50-50. You don't know. So this is like behind door number 3. You're like, oh shit, is Daniel fucking give me a pat on the back, or am I getting ass pounded? Is Brian going to charge Sevi for all of Kate and Mace's comments? Yes. Okay, so that one's like a little bit of love. Like, I got a little support from him, but you never know with him. You're having a bad day and you just want to just fucking go with someone. You pick David Weed or Pat Lange. You want to get like a familial feeling, you hit Jody Lynn, you know what I mean, or Jeffrey Birchfield, and like you feel like you're like with your aunt and uncle or your cousins, or you know what I mean. So you just like, you don't read them, and like, I'm susceptible to anyone who uses my name in a comment. I'm pretty susceptible to just clicking it. Like, if I look over and see Sevon, I'm like, what the fuck you want? Yeah, see, like, look at, yeah, see, Sevi, you just made my day. Yeah, so she knows, she cracked the code. It's like a dog, like it's like a dog whistle for me. They said my name. So yeah, you just but don't go into them. Like, don't, they're the comments, Miss Meza, are a prop. They're a prop. They're to use when shit gets, when things get like desperate or whatever, or if you just want, not even desperate, sometimes you just want to engage with people. Jethro, like, as soon as I see his name, you want to talk politics, pick me. So that's it. That simple. But for some reason, I've told a lot of people that the trick, and they still can't do it. It's weird. Don't let those fuckers control you. Like, they're like, you'll unless that's part of your shtick too. Like, for Taylor, I can't, like, I've never asked him, but maybe that's just part of his shtick. Like, a lot of things that the people think I'm doing on the show are real. They're kind of real, but they're kind of just a shtick. Like my wife doesn't really care that I use her shampoo, but I just made a shtick out of that because maybe I'm paranoid about it. So then I project it onto her and turn it into a shtick, you know, that a lot of people could relate to. You know what I mean? Thanks for that. No problem. No problem. You guys are cruising along. Okay, let's where was it? 2740. Is that this fight? Okay. Okay, here we go. Maybe you guys should leave for this part. Dr. Meza, maybe Hanawi, Allah Akbar, Tweedle Doctor. I don't know what that is. Right. And to have Caitlin take out the nose ring.
And luckily there's enough of them that if you don't like the one that you're at, you can go somewhere else. But I don't want to be a part of something like that in terms of like just CrossFit boxes in general. I'm not saying CrossFit because I don't want to be in a space like that because I don't think it's good for the community.
Your framing is and your everything's perfect. I like it.
So
Audio's on point. That's really all that matters is the audio.
All right.
How many people do you have at your CrossFit affiliate? Oh wait. Oh, so Dents is already poking him by saying, "Oh wait."
you don't have to be here. I don't know if you know that or not, but if you don't
yeah. Wow. All right. I like it. All right. I'm already uncomfortable. Did you guys get uncomfortable when you see that? And Caitlin's just like on it. Cry on the inside like a wiener, like a winner.
have anything nice to say. I don't know why. So
Apparently all we do is use everyone else for publicity, but they can be here and be in our comments. And also like this right here, cry on the inside like a winner, is the literal exclusiveness that I'm talking about. And I think
trigger word for Sevi. I need to look up that. I've never heard that. Cry on inside like winner. What does that mean? I don't know that. Oh, it's a whole TikTok campaign. Cry on the. I don't do TikTok. What is that? Can someone explain that to me real quick? Coping with emotions. Discover how to handle crying in public like a winner with the help of this video. Oh, let me see this. Can't talk to you. Stop crying. I want to. Hold on. I'm doing some research. Let me just. I'm sorry. I'm just sad. Then cry on the inside like a winner. I don't get it. See, that's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. I don't get anything. Maybe I do have a learning disability. I have fucking no idea what that means. But they know. These motherfuckers know. Jenny knows. Kate knows. Miss Hanawi knows. I don't know shit. Speaking of exclusive. It's like, thank you. Thank you, Felicia. Let's see. It's like Ben Bergeron, suffer in silence. Mesa looks like she smokes crack. Are you kidding me? She looks like a 4-year-old. She looks like the opposite of someone who smokes crack. Are you kidding me? Give her fucking 20 points if she smokes crack. Okay. And anyway, I don't know what that means. But obviously Dents knows what it means. And obviously, Ms. Hanawi. She Hawaiian? I thought she was Lebanese. Hanawi. Oh, fuck it. Another break. Hanawi. Hanawi is Lebanese. Oh, my dad was born in Lebanon. The beautiful family of Ahmad al-Hanawi. Yeah, that's what I images. Oh, there's some fucking hot Hanawis. Or Google just fucking pulled them all up for me. It knows my taste. Okay, you're big brown-eyed people with thick hair. You're like part Kardashian. I wonder if you have any Armenian in you. That would really fuck me up. And I have to be extra nice to you. Okay, here we go.
Again, so this, you can be here, this one, you can be tough 100%.
You can be tough and inclusive. Oh, Jeff Bako. You got Jeff Bako in there. Holy shit. Since when are those mutually exclusive for fuck's sake? You can be tough and inclusive. God, these words, inclusive, exclusive. This is what I mean by not saying anything, but let's go on.
But you don't have to be tough to everybody. Like some people, like I hate that mentality that in order to do CrossFit, you have to be super hard. You have to love going to that dark place. Like I do, you do, not.
I don't. I mean, I'm happy afterwards. I'm very happy afterwards. But you do have to be tough to do CrossFit. You do have to, like, if you want to get the most out of it, you got to be, I don't know what you guys mean by tough, but you got to be a bad motherfucker. Like one of my kids is clearly going to be good at CrossFit and the other one's like, nah, I'm doing gymnastics. Like, I don't want to just hurt for the sake of hurting. That's what CrossFit is. It's just hurting for the sake of hurting.
Not every person in my gym has to. Some people can want to come in, get fit, not die, not have extremely competitive goals. And that's awesome. It's so much better than them being on the sofa because someone was so tough and rude to them and made them feel unathletic or unfit. Like,
Oh, now we got the word rude in there. Tough and rude. I think most of the tough people I know aren't rude. It's as inclusive as it gets. Oh yeah, I'm probably coming into this conversation late. Hey, come I do the work. 99% of everyone here is going to cheer you on, hold you accountable. It's the second part that drives people away, accountability. Yeah, there's nothing more inclusive than a CrossFit gym. Like anywhere, any like the DMV is not fucking inclusive. The Safeway with all the crackheads is not inclusive. The CrossFit gym is the most inclusive place on planet Earth. It's like it's awesome. To bring any of that nonsense in there is just people projecting their own shit. That's why people don't like the libtards, because they project that shit onto a system that's already crazy inclusive.
this reality, like 100%. You go into a good CrossFit gym, people are cheering you on, all of that. I don't think that is every environment. And I don't think that is
Not every environment, just most.
the general perception of CrossFit from
Doesn't matter what the perception is. It's the truth.
the outside. I think when you're in it and you know, but
Just like the perception is that for some people that when you arrest a black man for stealing from a liquor store, their perception is that he got arrested because he was black. And that's just wrong. It's not. When you start doing that, you're the racist. That's just logic. And so that's what you're doing. The thing is, he was arrested because he stole, and then you pile on top of that, and you're like, well, why did 50 black guys get arrested for stealing from the store? Well, because 50 black guys stole from the store. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And if you draw the conclusion that it has anything to do with color, you're a fucking racist bigot. And I get it. That doesn't mean I dislike you. People make that fucking mistake all the time. If I didn't like it, if I disliked everyone who was like that, I'd fucking dislike everyone. Hey, listen, if you have a PhD in fucking math and you guess what, if you ask me what ethnicity are you, and I can't see you, I'm gonna say Asian. That doesn't make me fucking racist. That's fucking math. 51% of people with PhDs in math are fucking Asian. So the majority of CrossFit gyms are fucking inclusive. That's just the fucking way it is. Anyone can fucking go there. It just is. Everyone knows that. Fat motherfuckers are allowed in there. Black dudes, white dudes, fucking cock chuggers, pussy lickers. They're all welcome. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey,
Hi.
I'm supposed to call in.
Oh, wait, hold on one second. Hold on. She deserves a better. Hold on 1 second. You deserve a better line than that. It's the popping. You guys wait, hold on. Don't say anything. Not yet. Hold on. I want everyone to hear you. You deserve better. Here we go. Hi, Miss Hanawi. Am I pronouncing your last name right?
You're not pronouncing my first name right.
Oh, tell me your name.
It's Mesa, like May the month.
What did I call you?
A lot of different versions of that.
Okay. Mesa.
And my last name's Hanawi.
Hanawi. How would your dad say it?
Probably like Hanawi.
He would. He doesn't have like Whitey say my name Matosian, but it's really Matosian.
Yeah, like Hanawi or Hanawi. It's a little bit different.
Yeah. All right. How's the podcast going?
I'm not Persian. I'm Lebanese. I'm not Persian.
What's the difference?
Iran and Lebanon, different countries.
Gotcha. All right. And
Shouldn't you know that?
Isn't Lebanese a nationality, or it's a nationality and an ethnicity?
I mean, wouldn't the ethnicity be Arab?
Oh yeah, okay, right. Okay. Are you born in Lebanon?
No, I was born in the States and I moved to Dubai when I was 4. I lived in Dubai till I was 18.
Shit. What did your dad do? Oh, let me guess. I know your dad's an engineer.
Nope.
Oh, okay, hold on. Physician.
Nope. You're not going to guess.
I'm guessing because they brought him there because they were building something and they needed a smart Lebanese dude.
No, we moved there because it was closer to home for my dad, and he has a big family in Lebanon. But my dad runs a food catering company.
Oh, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
Does he still do that in this country?
He still lives in Dubai.
Oh, no shit. You're away from home.
Yeah, both my parents live in Dubai.
All right. So what's going on? You guys are fighting with Jen, with Dents in the comments?
I got a little spicy yesterday. I feel like 10 episodes deep of her commenting and talking about us, it was time for me to respond a little bit.
Did you enjoy it, or did it make you feel uncomfortable, or both?
Oh, I don't get uncomfortable with confrontation. It's fine. I don't love getting upset because I don't think it's necessary, but I was over the mean girl act, so someone had to say it.
Yeah. I mean, Caitlin jumped right on her. I came in kind of out of context. So
If you go to minute 36, I go off on her.
And sometimes you need to do that to get through like certain things. Do you think it helped? Do you think it like moved things forward?
I don't know. I think there's been a lot of talk about how like I don't have the right to say anything because I'm not a CrossFit affiliate, but I own a gym and run classes, and she does not own a gym or do any of that. So how does she have more of a right to talk about it than I do?
Right. I mean,
I think I'm like on the floor doing the thing every single day.
right. Off subject a little bit. Why aren't you an affiliate? Too much money? Too expensive?
No, I'm a WFP affiliate, and I can tell you all the reasons why I'm that and not CrossFit if you want.
Oh yeah, tell me. This is going to be good.
Okay. We kind of got into this yesterday. We've got into it a few times. I'm new. I opened a gym 2 months ago, brand new. Most of my life, I had wanted to open a CrossFit affiliate. After everything that happened last year, I just kind of was my first year not doing the open, and from a moral standpoint, didn't want to contribute financially to CrossFit because I feel like that's the only control I have. As far as right now, like I said this yesterday, first and foremost, I'm a business owner who has bills to pay. And I think at this point in time, being a CrossFit affiliate will hurt my business more than it will help it, because people who do CrossFit can come to my gym and do CrossFit, and people who are put off by CrossFit can still come to my gym and work out. And that's like my major reason for not affiliating right now is it doesn't make business sense to me.
So let me unpack a couple things here. So when you say CrossFit, you're using it as a both as a brand, but also as a methodology. You're saying they can come and do the CrossFit methodology at my gym, but they don't have to support the brand.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and I'm guessing that from some moral standpoint, because Lazar Jukic drowned, you don't want to be a part of CrossFit. What did you mean by that from a moral standpoint?
Yeah, I think obviously this is just my opinion personally, but ever since 2020, I felt like there was a lot of PR issues with CrossFit, and I feel like I've been one of many people who has hoped things would change. And then like 2024 and Lazar dying was kind of a culmination of a lot of things where I felt like I lost hope. And I think being an individual, there's not much I can personally do besides control where I put my money into.
When you say PR issue with CrossFit from 2020, I thought it had huge issues too, like the hating of Black people and treating them like victims and like they're less than whites, and the expecting the U.S. government demanding that all the gyms close down so that they could Rosa could go to Congress and say that all our gyms are closed and try to get money instead of supporting the gyms that were open. You know, people lost their jobs at CrossFit because they kept their gyms open because it didn't toe the line. Is that what you mean when you say PR debacle? Or
So
or go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. Or what?
Or the same thing. They did the same things with the gay people. They demanded that they play the victims, even though gay people are more than welcome in all CrossFit gyms that I've ever been to. HQ has fucking had a crazy disproportion of homosexuals who worked at HQ, but yet soon as Rosa took over, it was in vogue to let them play the victim as a group, which I think hurts people. Are those the kind of PR issues you're talking about? Instead of keeping the methodology and staying focused on the prize, getting involved, swerving into the cultural milieu? Wait, sorry.
Couple, so that was,
say that
and
again.
it was primarily
Sorry, the phone
a
dropped.
gay population.
Say that again. After COVID, what? Say that again. Sorry.
During COVID in 2020, at that time, I was going to a gym owned by a gay couple that was primarily gay membership. So that was never really, I don't think that was my thought process. It was more, if I'm speaking candidly, and I feel like you're not going to love this, I felt for a long time that HQ and a lot of the people in leadership, it's just a good old boys club, that there's a lot of sexist, racist narratives that were going on. And I didn't love that. And I was hoping that would change. And I always thought there was safety issues. I always thought that there was athletes weren't treated the way they should be. And then I think 2024 was just a culmination of a lot of bad decisions.
Like if, okay, and when you mean good old boys club, sexist and racist, could you give me just even one example?
I mean, the stories that came out about Greg Glassman saying that he hopes there's a hero workout named after one of his female employees' husbands who was deployed.
And that's a good old boys club.
I hope he dies.
Mm-hmm. And
I mean, the fact that all the things that came out about the email lists about female employees and all of that.
Oh, wait,
I mean,
what was that? I haven't heard that one. Tell me that one. The email list of female employees. Tell me that one. I haven't heard that one.
That there was an email list at HQ in which they ranked the female employees based on looks.
No, that is 100% false. I had never heard that before. That is batshit crazy.
Someone came out and made a podcast that they worked there, and that was what was happening.
Who was that? Tell me who that was. Tell me who that was. I want to know who that was.
I need to go back and look. It's been 5 years now.
Okay.
But also, I think in general, I want to tell
you a crazy story. I don't know if you remember this, but GChat used to be huge. Do you remember when Google had GChat?
Vaguely.
Okay, so basically everyone could just chat with everyone who was on Gmail. I don't know why they got rid of it. But the employee that told that story about Greg saying that in the car when there were three, it was Greg. I was not in the car, but it was Greg, and the way I heard the story, it was Greg and that woman and 2 other Navy SEALs in the car. And they were all very close, longtime employees, and that girl is very close with Greg also. So it was repeated and you can, if you're not okay with that joke at all, fine. I wasn't there. I don't know if it really happened or not, but it was taken out of context. But when I searched when I searched the word nigger in my GChat, because when all this was going down, I was like, I wonder if anyone's ever used the word nigger to me in any email or GChat ever. So I searched that word in my Google, and the only employee that had ever used that word to me ever was the same guy who told that story.
Okay.
And I can promise you that. And so I'm just putting it in context for you. Like, hey, you get a couple SEALs in the call, you get a bunch of people who are close together. And if you say that as a joke, man, like, hey, you're so beautiful, man. I hope there's a hero watt about your husband. Maybe you don't think that's a funny joke, or maybe you think like, hey, that should have only been said around the boys. But I think it's really important to keep that shit in context, especially for a program that's offered so much to the world. I mean, you could. I don't want to like. I'm not. I don't want to like. I'm not here like to beat you down. I'm excited and happy that you called in. But you think about in media at CrossFit, we glorified women equally as much as men, non-fucking stop, and the women always got the same amount of prize money. And when I started CrossFit, the majority of the executives there were women. If I could be so frank, none of them were attractive. And it's just, I think that I would ask you to think that maybe that there's some part of you that might be looking for that rather, and that really it's just it's a very blunt, real swath of humanity that worked at CrossFit and not so much sexist and racist. I can't think of anything racist there. I mean, our demographic at HQ was like, it was like 46% fucking Mexican, which is like equivalent.
Would it be fair for me to say, as you being someone who has used the N-word on your podcast comfortably and defended it, that I might not take your bar for racism as the same as mine?
Yeah, but let me also tell you this, so you have it in context. I believe that people demanding that word is offensive is the oppression. Do you understand that? So if you're a little black baby and you're born, and on day one that you come out of your mother's vagina, there's a word here waiting for you to be offended by your whole life. It's a pretty strong argument, I think, to be like, wow, who are really the racists? Who are really the oppressors? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I just wholeheartedly disagree.
But I don't think. But how can you disagree? It's not an opinion. You don't think that is? Do you think what I'm saying is a fact?
What do you mean? What you're saying is a fact? Elaborate on that.
Do you think that as a society that we have a word here waiting for people the day they're born to spend the rest of their lives being defended, to be offended by, is actually the oppression? Like, I believe that's actually the oppression. So people that find that word offensive or think that the implication is because I use that word freely, even though I've never used it in a derogatory manner, I've never called someone that name. And
the thing is, it's not your place to say what may be offensive to someone whose shoes you will never walk in.
And
that's not your place to decide what may or may not offend them.
Right.
And here's the thing: at the end of the day,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. At the end of the day, if someone I'll take this back to what happened with Chandler Smith years ago, right? When those athletes in Misfits used the N-word, he asked them not to. They doubled down. It was kind of a big scandal. If someone I would say Chandler Smith is seemingly one of the best dudes in CrossFit. Time and time again, people have said great things about him. I've met him, had great interactions with him. If someone says to you, this is offensive, please don't say it, and that is way too hard for you to do, does that not say more about you, person who might be offended by it for a valid reason?
First of all, let's just to be super clear, I'm not the one that's saying that people should or shouldn't be offended by it. I'm going to go out a limb here and say that you're the one saying that. You're the one demanding that people be offended by it. I don't care whether people are being offended by it or not offended by it. What I'm saying is that to demand that people be offended by it or to judge me for saying it, that you then are the oppressor.
Okay, but if someone who tells you that is offensive towards me, could you not use it?
No problem.
What would you say to that?
No problem. But let me give you an example.
But in the past, you've literally gotten on your show and mocked someone and said you have the right to use that word. So
I do have the right to use that word.
Yeah, but if someone who is black is asking you not to use that word, is it crazy, ridiculous ask for you to just change your verbiage? Why is that so difficult?
You mean in their presence?
I mean, in general.
No. Yeah. I'm not going to change. If someone said to me, "Hey, I don't like your name, Sevon," in French, that means "go fuck yourself." I can't do it. I'm not changing that. But you
can understand the difference between Sevon and the N-word. I think even you can understand the difference between that.
Mesa, did you see what you just did right there? They're just.
Hey, my name's not with a Z; it's with an S.
Mesa. Thank you, Mesa. You are you're conflating issues. Let me say this. There was a young lady and I was at some place in Nicaragua making a documentary for malnourished children and who had vitamin A deficiencies. And there was a woman in the camp. I think it was in Nicaragua or somewhere in Central America. And she said, when we got to the camps, someone said, "Hey, can everyone not say the word snake?" And I was like, "Wow, that's a trip. And why?" And they said, "If you say the word snake around this girl, she'll freak out." Where does that end?
Okay, but how can you not like see the difference in those two? Like,
That's the whole
snake
thing.
has never been used.
Lisa, I
If
do see
something
the
has been-
difference. I'm not stupid. Like, I understand the emotional difference and the historical difference, but I'm just talking about the facts right now. Like, when does it stop? When do we let black people out from the oppression, or Jews out from the oppression of not liking kike, or Mexicans not liking spick? When do we let them out from that? When do we be like, "Hey"?
But it's not your job to let them out. Like, that's not on you.
No, you're right. It's not my job, but
it's-
I know that, but it's not my job to oppress them. My point is that you're oppressing them by finding fault in the use of the word. You could be agnostic on the issue like I am and it not matter. But it's not me. Was what I'm saying. It's not me.
I think that's a cop out. I think
Okay,
it's
fair
saying,
enough.
because I
Okay.
don't view it that way.
Okay.
But we went on a tangent off of CrossFit, but okay.
No, I like it. Hey, look, I'm going to tell you something. This is the most articulate conversation I've had about the subject. You were the first fucking
appreciate
person ever on the show able to, and maybe that's my fault because I haven't let people on the show, or haven't had people on the show. Maybe "let's" not the right word, with a difference of perspective.
Or maybe I do have something to say.
Yeah, that was
Possible,
good.
right?
That was good. Do you get what I mean when I criticize you guys about that? Or no, you think it's unfair, unwarranted?
I think that me and Hiller kind of had this conversation very briefly where he told me not to be afraid. I think in general, I value sounding, I won't even say educated, but well thought out, and sounding like I don't love going off the rails on something that I don't feel like I have a very well thought out, rational, logical argument to. And maybe that comes across as me like not saying as much as I would like. But there are topics like yesterday where I feel very confident in having a well thought out argument that I will have something to say. But I think people who have something to say about everything come off not intelligent, and their points don't come across well.
When in one of the first shows you did, I think you said something, and I'm paraphrasing, and unfuck me if you need to. You said that there was a bit of a tension inside of you between presenting as the owner of Mesa Fit versus the podcast host, and that set up some kind of red flags for me.
I don't think I ever said that.
No, you didn't say that. Okay, let me articulate a little better. That basically you were saying that you're running a business and you want to present as a business owner on the podcast or as a representative of your gym, but that you didn't use the word conflict, but I took it as that there might be conflict, and so some suppression of your true opinions regarding things that you thought about because you had to think about your business first. Like let's say you hated dogs. You know what I mean? There's crazy dog people out there, right? Like, "Oh my God, Mesa hates dogs. Fuck that bitch. I'm not going to her gym." Not that you hate dogs, but like you might not.
I love dogs.
You might. Good
yeah,
answer.
I
As a
don't
business
remember
owner,
saying.
Okay. Sorry,
I don't remember saying that, but
okay.
I do. No, but I do. I can elaborate on that.
Please,
I mean, I
please.
agree with that.
Okay.
I think that 100% me as a business owner, and also I run an after school program for teen girls where I teach them weightlifting, and we talk about mental health, body image, all of that for preteen and teen girls. And like that is always at the forefront of my mind, of that those things are very important to me, my community and my gym and those teen girls, and like representing myself in a way that also represents those brands and the person I want to be in those spaces. I think that's just making choices that align with who I want to be and who I want to represent myself as. And I think it's very easy to go off the rails or get very angry or be very reactive. And that's not how I would want to represent myself in chaotic situations in any of those environments. And I think that is at the forefront of my mind. And that's not like an internal conflict. That's me, I think, trying to speak in a way that represents the best version of the person I want to be.
I have this theory I want to run by you, a media theory.
Tell me.
Okay. I think that people, when we consume media, we do it to judge things, right? And so if you don't say anything, like if you don't like drill down to something and give someone something to judge you about, then they won't have an opinion on you, right? So some people, like I think Lauren plays it so fucking safe that that's why she can't cultivate a following, because she plays it so safe that no one can judge her. Whereas on the opposite end of that, Andrew Hiller only says shit, right? And so every time he says something, you can judge him. And so it's like you can take, and when you judge something, whether it's good or bad, you're investing into it, right? You're now making part of your identity as a human, judging them, right? And so so they stick to him like a magnet, right? And so so that's what I think. And I agree with you. Like, you shouldn't do it just for the sake of doing it. Like, you shouldn't just be out there being like, okay, I cracked the code on it, I'm just going to bring every subject up and judge trees, women's bodies, and people who like dogs. But if you don't say anything, then people can't. And it's scary to, and that's what the true vulnerability is. It's not being like, I think a lot of people are confused about authenticity and vulnerability, but I think the true vulnerability is like giving people a chance to judge you. And that's how you cultivate. And that's how you cultivate listeners. That's how you cultivate listeners or an audience.
For sure. I think like if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything is kind of what you're getting at. And I definitely agree that like trying to always be perfectly politically correct and on the right side of things and all of that is not going to get you a following. I would say two things to that. I mean, yesterday, you can go back and watch it if you care to. I think it was something that, like some topics I was a little more passionate about, and I had a reason to, and I definitely went off and had stronger opinions, and people seem to like that side of me. We got lots of DMs about bring Unhinged Mesa back out and all that. But I also think I think Hiller takes it too far the other way sometimes, where he has a strong opinion on everything without giving himself maybe time to even form that opinion. And I get it. That gets clicks, that gets likes. I think the other side of it is like my job, my main source of income, my main job is being a physical therapist and being a gym owner. Media is something I would like to get into and I enjoy, but it's not like I don't have to be so over the top to get a following, because it's like I can do it in a way that it like is real, and I'm not just like saying shit for the sake of saying it to get a following.
Right. And I don't think I do that or Andrew does that. I don't know anyone who does that, who just says shit for the sake of getting the following, but it's about tapping into that vein in yourself where like it's basically all ego shit, right? And making yourself vulnerable and start saying it. And
I think you should listen to yesterday's episode.
All right, yeah, I will. And I'm not suggesting. I mean, you guys have definitely you can take this to the bank. No one wants you to go away.
I appreciate that. I don't plan on going anywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, it can sometimes feel that way if people are saying negative things about you. Like, I think a lot of people who say negative things about me think in their head they want me to go away. I just think I have deep, but I think the truth is they don't want me to go away, because I don't want anyone like when John Woolley lost his fucking account, I was devastated. I was so fucking bummed. You know, he lost his first account, but I'm no fucking fan of that fucking space cadet. But I the sure as fuck don't want him to go away.
I think it's good to have people with maybe different opinions in the space. I can agree with that.
Or even no opinions. I wouldn't even say we have different opinions. He just has no opinion.
We can agree to disagree on that.
You sound like my mom.
I don't think that's a compliment.
No, it is. She's a great lady. All right. Thank you for calling. Is there anything else you would like to discuss before I watch your minute 36?
No, you're good. Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
All right. Bye.
Congratulations on the podcast. Bye. Say hi to the big head girl for me. Okay. All right. Damn, that was the most I think that was the most articulate I've been on the subject of racism. That was crazy. Thank you, Mesa. Mesa with an S. I want to tell a story about Chandler Smith. What do you think, Mesa? I want to tell a story about Chandler Smith, but I don't think he probably wants me to tell the story. So do I tell the story? Or am I always just concerned about other people's what they want? I should have asked you, do you have a boyfriend? I should ask you if you have a boyfriend. I'll tell you a different story besides the Chandler Smith story before I get to minute 36. I had a friend who, after Lazar Jukic died, one of their friends said to them, "Hey, are you going to post on Lazar?" And they're like, "Shit, I didn't know him." Like, "Well, are you going to post on him?" And they're like, "I don't know what to say." And they said, "Dude, who cares what you say? If you don't say anything, what are people going to think about you?" And that kind of thinking is like, I don't think I realize how pervasive that is in humanity, but especially with young social media people. You're going to post something about Lazar because you're afraid of what people will think if you don't post something about him? That's to me that is batshit crazy. That is you are now I don't know who your God is at that point. If you're worried at that level, you have some sort of like, I don't care how not religious you say you are, you have a God, and that's a really weird phenomenon. And I don't know what your God is, but it's something fucking weird. It's like humanity's your God, or I don't know. It's crazy. It must have been hard for Denise Thomas, Nicole Carroll, Karen Thompson. Must have been hard on them working for HQ during the sexist and racist years. I know. I'm glad she shared that with me, but it's so fucking crazy. I'm trying to think of the most sexist thing I ever did at HQ. I think the most sexist thing I ever did is we were at an affiliate gathering. And I was in my hotel room and I was in bed already. This stupid fucking hot CrossFit employee calls me and says, "Hey, I'm at this other venue." And the venue is a mile away. And I had a big day in the morning. I had to do a bunch of shit. It's like 10 o'clock at night. How do I get back to the hotel? And this place didn't have Uber or any of that shit. It's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I'm like, fuck. But I didn't say that out loud. I'm like, "Oh, no problem. I'll come over there and walk you back to the hotel." Like what the fuck am I gonna do? This bitch could probably beat my ass. A fucking bear could fucking take both of us. I don't know the fuck I'm gonna do. But I'm like trying to pretend like I'm a man. So I went over there. I walked. I jogged over there. I was all sweaty when I got over there. Jogged over there. Probably made it 8.5 minutes. Probably set like a mile record time for myself. Saw her and fucking walked her back to her house, to her room. That's it. That's probably. I guess that's the most like. I don't know if I'd have done that for a dude. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have done it for Greg. But if Dave would have called me and been like, "Hey, I'm over here. What's up?" I'm like, we just jog back, dude. You call the police. Yeah. Call the police. But I definitely did that because it was a girl and she was fucking hot as fuck. And I was like, what if something would have happened to her? I'd have to fucking kill myself. So I mean, there was like that kind of shit going on for sure. I called the HR lady one time a cunt. I mean, that's what that's what someone told me. I don't remember doing that. But that wasn't sexist. I didn't do that because it was a girl. I did it because she's a cunt. All right. Hey, I just want to say this. Mesa, turn this part off. I just want to say this. Hey, I planted a crazy seed just now. I planted a crazy seed. I had 3 more phone calls with Mesa, and she's fucking red pilled. Her whole shit's gonna unravel. That was crazy. All right. Here we go.
For people to feel welcome and feel comfortable coming in and building the capacity to do hard things. And I'm going to go off on a little tangent because, oh my God.
Should we invite Grant in?
Maybe, but real quick.
I've seen you unrack a back squat. I will stay at my affiliate. Thanks. How you do anything is how you do everything. Dude, my squatting's insane. I'm weak as a bird, but I squat like a beast.
Are you 12 that you're literally like, I saw a video of you unrack a back squat? Like, please post a video of your perfect back squat. And if anyone saw a video of me somehow unrack a back squat so wrong that it makes them never want.
Doesn't Mesa have some weird proportions? Like she got like long legs or something? I think I remember seeing something like that on Instagram, or I don't know what it was. I don't know. I might have to give her like her back squat might be in progress or something. I think she got some she's all legs, no torso or something. Not like weird, not like you see Mesa and she looks like a dwarf or something, but I'm just saying, I think she talked about that in that back squat video, but I don't know.
Want to come to my gym? Good. I hope you don't come, because that's absurd behavior and a wild comment to make.
Oh, yeah. You look angry. Oh, Mesa, you fell in the comments. Look at, you can't do that. You can't let them see you reading the comments like that.
I mean, we can point fingers at who is the problem of CrossFit, and I think some people will.
Not me. It's not me. Sevi's box jumps are like Brooks burpees. That's too. I wanted to say something about your mom, but I don't really have a good comeback. You win. Point, Aaron. Pussy.
May say Mesa, and some people may say Jenny. You never know. I think.
I'm not out here mocking.
I don't think both are true. But
I don't. Like, I think mocking someone's movement is wild. Like, I don't want to come to your gym because I saw a video where you didn't.
Hey, Andrew's made a whole YouTube channel on it. Mocking movement. I don't know if mocking's the right word. Mocking people's videos.
Move perfectly. Like, please grow up. That's such a problem. Like,
it's just old, like the Mean Girl Act is old. And I do think it's,
like,
I don't think it's doing anything. I think
there's not a lot of things that I'll be like, wow, I'm good at this. Like, I love being a coach. I love being a physical therapist, and saying that because I unrack a back squat a certain way, I'm bad at running a business or an affiliate or a gym is just It's just mean. You don't need to be doing that. The way I unrack a back squat has no like connection to me being a good coach. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to invite Grant in? You
Yeah.
can.
Grant, check.
Hey, Mesa, I'm telling you, I don't think that's unhinged. That's chill. You were chill. I mean, your face looked like it got a little stressed out, but that was chill. I mean, I think the conversation we had around racism was way gnarlier than that. But maybe that one hits closer to home because someone's judging your movement, you have a lot of pride in it. Maybe that's
Your DMs.
You can hop in if you want.
I'm scared because he's unhinged most.
I'm unhinged today. So
yeah, I just don't like, I'll never get down.
I'm censoring a bunch of shit in my head right now. Like, you know, when you have a thought and like you're like, nope, that one can't come out. A doctor should want to teach properly. I don't think she said anything that didn't make it say that she wanted. I think she wants to teach properly. I just think she didn't appreciate Jenny judging her squat. Ms. Dents, I learned to dance better by watching my movement NFL team watch film to learn from it. Hey, what about the translation of Malik's podcast? How's it going? Any spicy nuggets? Anything? How were the hosts? Were they good? Is it true that if French guys do CrossFit, it makes them heterosexual? Oh yeah. Miss Jenny, hi.
And here, let me turn the. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I haven't got too into it so far, but it's definitely interesting. And you can turn on the English subtitles if you want and read that for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
That would be the longest I've read in the last 20 years.
Yeah. It's a little bit difficult because the French speak faster than we do. So when the AI is trying to translate the auto captions in English, it goes really fast. I might even actually slow it down. But the first part of it is interesting because
Hold on one
it
second.
looks like they took a.
Hold on one
Okay.
second. Hold on. I hope you guys appreciate when I take the pop out. I have to reconnect every time.
I appreciate it.
Okay, cool. Okay, go ahead. The first part's interesting because. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, the first part's interesting because of what?
Because it seems like they took a portion of the conversation that was maybe later on in the podcast and they clipped it and put it in the very front of the podcast, completely in front of like an introduction of, hey, this is Malik. Hey, this is the person that owns this and that. You know, like the introduction is completely behind this part. And that part is he's talking about Rich Froning. And he talks about how, you know, he admires him and he's all these great things. But then there's a piece in there where he then says that Rich Froning and Mayhem are ultimately a threat to CrossFit because they take affiliates, which is wild because Mayhem is still a CrossFit affiliate. They just have people under their training program.
That's when I don't know this for a fact, but my understanding is the way the Mayhem affiliate program works is you're basically buying programming for your gym, right? So you spend whatever money every single month, and then they send you the programming and the coaching and the warm up and all that. I think a lot of people do that, right? Aren't there Proven affiliates and Sentinel affiliates and Hiller Fit affiliates? Aren't there a bunch of different ones out there?
competition, my athlete follows this programming. Like that's why they're so good.
It's
Kind of
not.
thing.
It's not an affiliate like. Well, that's interesting. Well, I've always wondered why Rich didn't just have his. I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess the CAP program provides that. I mean, Mayhem has a pretty. I don't know globally how powerful their name is, but if I saw an affiliate, if I drove by an affiliate and it didn't have the word CrossFit on there and it said Mayhem affiliate, I mean, I don't know how I would feel if they broke away. That would be so weird. I don't know if I would be like, fuck this guy, he's just stealing the methodology. Or if it, like, how many private equity hands does it go through before you're like, yeah, Mayhem is the new CrossFit? I don't know. Shit's going to get interesting. If he really said that, it's so weird because we went from Rich endorsing what I read into it, Rich endorsing Malik, right? He's basically came on the air. Our understanding is that Malik had a big pile of cash and he was going to go buy CrossFit himself, and that Rich was like, yeah, if a single person buys it and I trust them, I'm going with them. But if private equity gets it, I'm fucking breaking away. And I thought that was Rich waving his stick at any private equity people who were going to bid against Malik. That's the way I read into that.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So then we hear Rich is going to be CEO. And then we hear Daniel Chafee is going to be CEO. And then there was clearly something weird going on at the games between Facundo, Rich, and Malik. There's definitely something weird going on there. And then also when Greg was in France, he sat down with Chafee, and I don't know what their discussions were. Greg didn't tell me, but I gleaned from listening to Greg talk about it on this podcast that Greg was endorsing Malik, even though they haven't met, because Daniel Chafee had such good feelings about Malik. So I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But was that
all
accurate,
over the
kind of
place.
on the journey that you, like, surface level? That's how it's all appeared, right?
Yes, and there was like a point in there where Rich got quiet about everything, and then
he didn't
wasn't
disparage Malik or anything, but he just kind of tiptoed out of the room.
correct. And then one other thing that he did say in the little section where he talks about Rich in the beginning was that he says if Mayhem were to take somebody from CrossFit and make them a part of Mayhem, that could also be damaging to CrossFit. And as we all know, we just saw that Austin Malleolo left CrossFit. And then a couple days ago, he was seen working out at Mayhem. And nothing has been announced there, but I just thought that piece was interesting. As if Malik already knows what's happening there. And he's coming out now ahead of that announcement. I
don't know what Malleolo's title was at CrossFit, but I want to say in North America, he was second in command next to DeCoons, and he held the same position that Daniel Chafee holds in Europe. Like Chafee's head of affiliates worldwide or something, and Malleolo was head of affiliates North America or some shit like that, I think. But I don't know. I don't know that for
That's how I understood it too.
Yeah. No,
actually could look at his LinkedIn. I think it's on his LinkedIn, but
yeah, I don't think he's just like, I think he was higher than a rep. I think Malleolo had some.
He was a senior director of strategy and operations at CrossFit. And prior to that, I think he was the director of affiliates. I do remember he like changed titles at some point. Oh yeah, so 22 to 23, he was the interim GM for global affiliates. And then in October 23 to current, they changed his title to Senior Director of Strategy and Operations for affiliates. So very similar to what Chafee does.
And I don't think Chafee and Malleolo were on the same page.
As far as like how to run that?
I don't think that they were the closest of friends. I don't know any examples. Maybe that's just a vicious rumor, but my understanding was that it was tense between them. They weren't fans of each other.
Interesting.
And I could see for sure. I could see anyone in the CrossFit space. I don't care if you're like you take out the trash at a gym or you're the fucking CEO. I could see you being threatened by Chafee because he's like a flawless diamond. So it's kind, you know what I
Yep.
mean? I mean that much. I mean, you met
Yeah.
him, you met him for 2 seconds, and you're like, damn, he good.
Yeah, dude knows what he's talking about for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. He's like
He
him and
also
him
said
and Nic
something in
him
there.
and Nic Johnston could, like, you know, people joke around for president, vice president. They actually could be
Yep.
president and vice president. Yeah.
Yeah, Nic Johnston is definitely knows what he's doing as well. He also said something in there that was interesting about there's never been a businessman making the decisions or something to that effect. And that right there just kind of gives me a little bit of a red flag popping up. But I'm going to get through all of it today, and then hopefully by Monday I'll have some more info to report. But it
Awesome.
won't be on this next update. I'll have an update in the morning, but it'll be on the next.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Fun
Bye.
conversation with Mesa.
Oh yeah. She was good, right? She held her own.
Yeah, she did all right. I ruffled some feathers, but I think she
I didn't think it was
she
really that
able-
tense between the two of you on that.
I think she just, you know, it was, to me, it just seemed very like victim mentality, and she was getting worked up. You know how like Brian gets worked up
Yeah.
about certain things. That's
Yeah.
just, but then she seemed to kind of chill out after that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope I planted some.
Okay.
I hope I planted some seeds in there when I talked to her.
Yeah, I don't think you could red pill her. I think Caitlin's got a chance.
Oh, I can red pill Mesa. She wants to be free. She wants to be free. All right.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Goodbye.
That Project Mesa. Mesa's just a Mesa's a I picture Mesa when I close my eyes as like when I plant sunflower seeds and there's what are those called? Sprouts? The seedling. She's a seedling. A fresh green seedling with unlimited potential. So I see her. Mesa is the classic modern woman. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. A little I guess to anyone who's thinking about buying CrossFit, this isn't my metaphor. I took this I want to say who's the philosopher from the East Coast? William Thoreau, or what was that guy's name? What was the name of his book? I was going to say On Golden Pond, but that was a movie. What's the William Thoreau? Is that the guy? William Thoreau? William, I don't even know how to spell Thoreau. How the fuck am I? Thoreau? Oh, Henry David Thoreau. Henry David Thoreau. What book did he write? Oh, Walden. Oh, it is Walden. I think I got it from that book. Henry David Thoreau. Oh yeah, thank you. He talks about inheriting his father's farm. I don't know if he uses as I can't remember. So long ago I read it, but he talks about inheriting his father's farm or a father's farm, and he talks about like you get all this land and you get these barns that are just full of tools. And basically, you're just inheriting a shitload of fucking work. And I'm not sure what the confusion is or what the ego is or what. And I say this to you with 100% certainty. Is that a paradox? Is that an oxymoron? 100% certainty? Is that redundant? I'm going to go with 99.99999% certainty. For anyone who's thinking about buying CrossFit, your ratio of financial gain to the amount of work you're going to put in is tantamount to someone who wants to be a CrossFit Games athlete and get rich. That's the mountain you're climbing. It just doesn't happen. There's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. Tia, Matt, and Rich. Out of fucking hundreds of thousands who've tried. You are completely barking up the wrong tree. And if you think otherwise or you're up for the challenge, that's fine. But just like I promise you, the Big W is about to get their first massive psychological test when the athletes prepare to turn on them here. You will be tested like you've never ever been tested if you buy CrossFit and you think that you're going to make any money from it, or you think of it as the M&M factory you bought or as a product. Like you are you're in for a world of farm work. You are going to be out there. You're not even going to have oxen. You're going to be out there with the straps around your neck and your body, and you're going to be pulling the what's that thing called? The till. What's that thing called that oxen pull? But no. What do oxen pull? Is it faster to Google or is it faster to wait till someone in the chat tell me? Plow. The plow. Yeah. Don't oxens do yokes? Oh, I like that. Okay, yoke. Yeah, yoke. Okay, we'll do yoke. So, brace yourself. It will be a challenge that you can't even imagine. And if you don't believe me, ask Dawn or ask Rosa. You will own the company for 5 years and you still won't know what you bought. I say this with no intention other than telling you the truth. And it will suck because you'll think you'll know, or you'll feign naiveness or curiousness, or that you want to hear from people. But I'm telling you. And even once you figure out what CrossFit is, it's really hard to keep that at the forefront of your brain, that it's a movement, because you've had such little experience with what movements are. And so you'll keep wanting to pull it out of the abstract and make it into the peanut factory. And yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a crazy ride. So good luck with the purchase. And I'm rooting for you. I wouldn't share this with you. I'm not trying to dissuade anyone from buying it. But it is not what you think it is. All right. Love you guys. See you guys tomorrow. Oh yeah, Kill Taylor, $2,500. Who do you guys think is going to call in? You think anyone will call in tomorrow? I wonder what the workout is. Let me you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call excuse me. I got to send the workout over to Pool Boy so he can make the intro. What a great addition, right? Pool Boy's been to the show. Are you fucking kidding me, David? You're a fucking asshole. You're a fucking dick canoe, douche canoe, cunt canoe. You
Hello?
fucking prick. Bryson, hi.
Hey.
Dude, I just did a show that was 10 out of 10 and someone rated it 8 out of 10. I know when I do a 10 out of 10.
Was it the Nic Johnston show?
Yeah, it was fucking, this show is fucking amazing. My girl Mesa called in. I started red pilling her. Fucking Jenny called in and gave us an update on fucking Malik's podcast. I fucking broke down how fucking the left is racist. It was in the most articulate way ever. It's crazy. He's a bitch.
I tuned in for like 3 minutes of Mesa's call in, but I was gonna just listen to the Nic Johnston interview later.
He's a beast. She was great too.
Yeah,
she was great.
cool.
Yeah, she was. I can't knock Mesa. Was great too. Hey, why only 3 minutes? It didn't capture your attention. Maybe it was an 8 out of 10.
She didn't capture my attention. You were capturing my attention.
All right, you're just saying that, but okay.
And I was like, all right, I'll save the rest for later.
Did Maris watch it?
Maris, did you watch it? No, she didn't.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. Is tomorrow's workout hard? Should people even bother calling in? How hard is it?
Yeah, it's not like high barrier to entry. Like anyone could do it, but to go fast on it, it would no passed on it.
No one.
Besides Taylor.
Okay. So Taylor's going to win tomorrow. Don't even bother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. I told because I hope he's protecting that 2,500. I mean, it would be great if no one called in.
Yeah, that's what I keep reminding him every time we're like thinking about the workouts and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, but a bunch of people would call in for this one. Like, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just want people to be terrified of it. Like, oh god, like that 150 burpees for time was just terrifying. Pull up burpees.
Yeah, it's similar. It's in a way, it's like similar in a way to that. Whereas like, yeah, anyone could physically do the workout. Like there's nothing like super high skill or anything like that, or like a heavy weight. Just no one's gonna want to. It's so bad.
Oh, good. Okay, that I just got chubbed up. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
All right. Horrible. We're gonna see Taylor on his side tomorrow. All right, guys. Time to live my dream life. Got to go. Bye-bye.